Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, we look at Ocean Township, New Jersey, where a body found in a burned-out car leads police on a wild hunt. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another wild, crazy edition of Small Town Murder, as they always are.
Shit, yeah.
They always seem to be for some reason. Why are they so crazy? Why do things that happen in these little towns? I don't understand it.
Every town has one.
Just makes it weirder, but we'll get into it. We have a crazy one for you today that we actually did on the road.
Right.
Luckily, Jimmy does not remember it, so don't worry. He will not have any knowledge of what's happening because he drinks whiskey on the road. So by the end of the show, he's like, I don't know who died.
Too damn much.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So that said, I just want to thank everybody, first of all, for your reviews this week. Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. We don't understand why they help drive you up the charts or why they're important, but they are for some reason. So if you want to help the show, that's a great way to do it. Just get on there, give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say you're following instructions. These guys forced me to. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It just helps on the business end. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small town murder and crime and sports needs.
It's there.
And if you're not listening to crime and sports, I got to tell you, you're missing out. We make the pitch for it. You do not need to know anything about or care anything about sports. It's not about that. It's just setting a tone of this is why he's an idiot.
Right.
Because he had this and then he did all of this dumb stuff. And then we make fun of the guy. It's nice. You can make fun of a rich, successful person who threw it away on completely their own free will. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Vast majority are no longer rich.
And that's that's why. That's what they've screwed it up. And then we, rub salt in the wound. So that's how it works. Listen to that. Check that out. Also, you can definitely go to shutupandgivememurder.com because tickets to live shows for next year are going to be available very soon. Yeah. We can't wait to get to Milwaukee and Chicago and freeze our asses off.
It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be cold next month, but those shows are sold out.
That's next week.
That is next week. That's in like 2 weeks.
That's a week away.
That is. That's very close.
It's a goddamn week away.
We'll see you guys next week where we'll be freezing right along with you. We're excited to do that, but we're going to have a full slate next year from February to December. We've seen the tour laid out. It's pretty cool. The tickets are going to go on sale within the next couple weeks, so you got to get on there. Also follow us at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Small Town Pod on Facebook to get those updates first. Do all of that. And also, if you want to be a hero to us, honestly, if you want to be one of our heroes, or one of the producers of the show, very important people that we're going to gush about later on and say how wonderful they are, you can do that extremely easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can do that. And every dime is greatly appreciated. And where can they find those links?
I believe those are at shutupandgivememurder.com.
I believe you're correct, Jimmy. Wonderful. Well, with that said, I think it's time for the disclaimer so we can get going. This is a comedy show.
Yes.
It's a comedy podcast where people are going to die and we're going to talk about it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's the thing here. We are going to make jokes because we're comedians. All the facts are real. But what we try to do here, we go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why would we do something like that?
Because we're assholes.
What?
But we're not scumbags.
There you
See,
go.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
And then that makes it okay at that point. Because we're making fun of jerks. Yeah. We're making fun of murderers. We're making fun of, like, maybe if a police force lets a murderer go free for 10 years because they did shoddy work. That deserves some mockery.
It's very rare that there's not a jerk in the story.
That's the thing. Yeah, when you get a small town weird murder story, someone's going to be an asshole, and we are going to call them out on it.
We'll find them.
We'll find them, damn it. We'll root them out.
Snuff them out.
We will. So if that sounds good to you, awesome. We're going to have a great time. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever go together, they just don't cross for you and you don't want to hear, that's fine. That's your opinion, but you probably shouldn't listen to the show. Yeah. That's the thing. Actually, you should because you'll probably like it, but we don't want you to.
No.
Anyway, we'll win you over. I'm telling you. That's the thing. We're charming sons of bitches. But we don't want you to because we don't want anybody complaining later on that, there was jokes in there. There's jokes. If you don't like jokes, don't listen. So for everyone else, though, who wants to have a good time and have a wonderful next couple hours, I think it's time to sit back and clear the lungs out and shout, "Shut up and give me murder!" Let's do this, Jimmy.
Yes.
Let's go on a trip, shall we? Let's do it. All right. We are heading eastward here. We were in the Midwest last week. We were in Kansas. Yeah. Oh, the sprawling plains of Kansas.
Wide open spaces.
Wide open spaces. Well, let's cram them in a little bit more now this week. Let's go back to the Northeast. I know we were in New Jersey a few weeks ago on the show, but we're going to be in New Jersey again today. Why? Right. Because why not? I said, I can't do that. Then I'm like, wait a second. What are these rules that I set for myself and then rigorously follow? What is wrong with it? Who cares? It's a fun story. Right. No one's going to be like, I just heard New Jersey. Like it matters to the murder. So, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Great.
So we're going to New Jersey. Let's make fun of the Florida of the North, everybody.
I would love it.
Let's do this. Going to New Jersey. It's Ocean Township, New Jersey, over here. Ocean Township. It's in East Central Jersey. But if you look at New Jersey, really look at the state, it's on the east where it juts out toward the ocean because it comes in and it goes out and then it comes back in again.
It's like a little S.
So it's like a little S. And this would be like right at the peak of the S as it goes into the ocean. It's not a panhandle, but it's a pizza handle. Okay. It's if it was a slice of pizza. Yeah. If Jersey was the crust of a pizza, it's right where you'd fold it. You'd put your index finger right in Ocean Township and fold that shit over.
You know what Jersey looks like is that little... It's that little fucking horn that Italians wear.
Yeah, and I think that's on purpose, actually, probably. Like, we're going to shape it like the horn. Hey, Hey, take the pasta out of your pocket and get your horn out instead. What are you doing over here? Yeah, that's that every Italian child is given for some reason. We don't know why. Our grandmother gives it to us. Our aunt gives us one of these.
What is it a horn of? Is it half of a bowl?
No.
What is the horn?
It's supposed to keep... Jesus Christ, this is so fucking ridiculous. You have to understand the immigrants, the Italian immigrants, Italy World War II was basically it was like the 1600s. It was just like way back in time. So there's
people laying in straw beds.
There's superstitious, crazy fucking people. So the horn is to keep the evil eye away.
What?
It's to combat the evil. It's to combat an evil spirits. So you're supposed to have the horn on. Sebastian Maniscalco has a terrific bit about the fucking horn.
Does he? And
it's hanging down, and people are like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's to keep the evil eyes away." They're like, "What?" Like, when you have, it sounds so ridiculous, but to these old Italian people, this is true. And if you don't have this, the evil eye is going to get you,
over
and then you're fucked. Then what? You're going to be out there, the evil eye's out there, and then what are you going to do?
Evil eye.
You're going to knock the pasta out of your pockets, and then you're in trouble. Just rigatoni and mustacholi all over the floor.
Italians are fascinating.
Aren't we an interesting people? This is what I mean. It's great that my grandmother's still alive. I still have access to this old world crazy, which is amazing because it really it's so fun. She tells stories, and I'm like, that sounds like it's from the 1400s. She's like, I took my the carriage with the horse. I'm like, the carriage with the horse? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
that's how far. And this was in the 30s. And she's talking about a carriage and a horse. I'm like, there wasn't a lot of carriage and horses still operating in the U.S. in the 30s. But
God, Jesus,
in Italy, it was like
we had to do it in the carriage, or else the evil eye would see us.
Yeah, the evil eye. Oh, she told me one story when I was a kid about. First of all, dark sense of humor has to come from my grandmother telling me stories about getting beatings as a child. Yeah. Just telling stories about being a sweet little 9-year-old Italian girl getting the living shit beaten out of her by family members for minor infractions.
Yeah.
But she did it with such elan that it was fucking hilarious. And she used to have me and my cousin rolling on the floor laughing. I don't know why. And she thought she's laughing too as she's telling it because
I can't believe they beat me.
So at that point, you gotta, that's my sense of humor because that's what was given down to me. So these people, they're another kind of people we'll talk about.
Incredible.
Quite a lot of them here. So we're going to Ocean Township, New Jersey, like I said here. Pizza crust. The thing is, New Jersey's really weird, too. Ocean Township, they're liars, okay? I'm just going to say it right now. New Jersey, you're full of shit, okay? Ocean Township isn't actually even a town. It's 3 smaller towns crammed in together to make one goddamn town of Ocean Township. And Jimmy, it's not even near the goddamn ocean. You would think Ocean Township, this is going to be right on the ocean.
Beach community.
Nope. This town, it's like a line right before, like they said, you can have almost up to the beach, and then the beach is
within
a separate
5 miles.
The beach is a separate strip that you don't have now. So liars.
Give that to somebody else.
Not a town, not near the ocean. Full of shit. It's about an hour and 20 minutes to Philly. If you want to get out of there, it's about an hour up to New York City. So it's commutable.
Okay.
This is commutable to 2 different metropolitan areas, making it, I would think at least an option for people to live, because there it's New York and even Philly are in the cities are so expensive.
They really are.
It really is. So a lot of people, like when we go to Philly, everybody we talk to is from Jersey.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Or outside of Philly.
Outside of Philly, which is Jersey.
Right.
Well, you know, if they're east of Philly, that's Jersey.
Right.
It's just, it's right there. So many people are from Jersey there. It's just one of those things.
Such a great city too, though.
Philly, I love
Jesus,
Philly.
If I lived in Jersey,
we are happy. We love Philly.
It's really
we have a
great
good
place.
time. If they have good food,
and
they cheer when we tell people to go fuck themselves. It's wonderful. I love that place.
Genuine good people.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's God damn it. And every time we go there, even when we do the meet and greet, we're like, we like these people.
Yeah.
These are funny people.
When I say genuine, I mean that in like both ways. Like they're great, and when they're pissed, they're genuine about it. They're not fucking around.
They're never pissed at us, luckily. So that's good. And we yell at them, and they go, "All right, you're right." When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Don't knock the pasta out of my pocket, all right? I'm full at the top today. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So, and it's about an hour 40 to the last, that Middle Township that we did before.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour over to the last one we did a couple weeks ago here. It's in Monmouth County, zip code 07712, area code 732. It's about 11 square miles because it's, multiple towns, like I said. The motto of this town, and this is a stretch. Yeah. I love when the mottos are either like some ad company came up with a shitty motto, or it's a complete bullshit stretch.
Yeah.
And here, the community of gracious living.
So gracious.
That's. I've been in New Jersey a lot, and there's one word that never comes to mind every time I've been there. Gracious is never. It's really good. Gracious. The people, the land. Yeah. It's just gracious.
Thankful and giving. They'll give you HIV, HPV, Hep C.
It's just so.
They'll give you all kinds of things.
That's gracious.
They're gracious.
Well, that's the thing. It's a gracious form. It's a gracious strain of syphilis. It's very gracious.
You can feel their graciousness in your loins.
Yeah.
It's a tingle and a sting at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes a little bit of an itch.
That's what fucking happens. That's the new. It's called that Jersey itch. Yeah, it's nice stuff here.
I've got Jersey graciousness all over my cock.
I can't right now. I got a touch of the gracious. My dick is gracious right now. It's got open gracious on it.
Yeah.
It's in
my graciousness is weeping.
It's not good. It's a bad thing. In this Monmouth County was founded by basically Henry Hudson and his crew. Okay. Henry Hudson, as in the river of the river fame.
Yeah.
Of the river Hudsons, you might want to say.
The river fortune
of the river Hudsons. Yeah. They were aboard the Dutch vessel Half Moon, and they saw land in Monmouth County, which was off of where Sandy Hook is currently. And now there's a legend here. The first settlers, among the first people to come into this area, were Richard and Penelope Stout.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's this coin that shows it's a Penelope Stout commemorative coin, and it's basically the form of a clearly unconscious woman slung over the shoulder of a warrior type of individual that he just has a thing on, and he looks very muscular, and he's being carried away
like a Japanese warrior.
No, just like I doubt it. It's an American coin. It would be really weird to have a Japanese. They came here where the Japanese rescued her in New Jersey.
When I see warrior, I see like
a samurai warrior.
Yeah, like Raiden from fucking Mortal Kombat.
I'm thinking more Native American warrior in those days, probably in this country.
Geronimo.
That's pretty much There wasn't a whole lot of other. Wasn't very diverse here.
Okay.
When they landed, I feel like people landed and they were like, it's nice. It's nice. No, it's. I like it. I would like more diversity. It's a little bit more diversity. It's just a lot of. They're just all natives.
They all look the same here.
It's just us, which is fine. Yeah. But it's just us and them. Like, there's nobody else. I don't know. Like, I'm looking for like a pho. Like, is there a pho restaurant around here? Like, I don't think so. Like, you know what I mean?
Is there anybody that looks like Raiden making pho somewhere?
Yeah. Some lady just want a cupcake shop. I don't know. It's nobody wants a good cupcake around here. So this crew came on. Now they said that Richard and her husband, who was not Penelope Stout, who wasn't Penelope Stout at the time. She was Penelope Kent, as a matter of fact, because her and her husband, John Kent, came over on a boat. And then when they got here, her husband was sick. Oh, no. And the party that they landed with was like, well, I don't know. Later, guys. Have a good one. Good luck.
Stay with the ship?
Good luck, everybody. No, just stay in the woods. The ship got all fucked up. And so they basically said, well, you're too sick to travel. And they said, yeah. And they said, okay, well, we'll see you later.
We're going to travel.
They just left him here. So when that happened, they were abandoned by them. Natives came and attacked them.
Sure.
Killed her husband.
Of course.
Obviously. Fucked her up, too. She survived, though. Mm-hmm. She survives the attack. And what she does is she goes into a hollowed out tree in a Star Wars Tauntaun situation and just gets herself right in a tree. And then Jesus Christ, and just hangs out there for a while.
Yeah.
Heals up on her with her wounds until she's so hungry she has to make herself known to the natives, and turns out to be friendly natives who sew up her wounds, and very nice of them to do, sew up her wounds and everything, and then in a very gracious gesture they sell her to the Dutch. So gracious.
I mean, you got to get your money back.
Gracious since 1643 should be New Jersey's fucking motto. New Jersey, gracious since 1643. Jesus
they got some
Christ.
overhead on this chick, though. They got some investment.
That's true.
Got to get your money back.
They sewed her up, so they end up selling her to Richard Stout, who she marries. Maybe voluntarily,
Probably.
maybe not, possibly not. She was, and then they in this legend they had a large family, 7 sons and 4 daughters, and lived happily ever after. Now there's another version where Penelope already had children, landed with her husband and her children. As soon as they got here, they were attacked in the forest by hostile natives.
That seems to be a common thread.
It's a common thread. I feel like that part's probably true. Husband and children killed.
Oh, all of them.
Oh, fucking slaughtered them all. Yeah. Okay, like Deadwood, basically. They're going on the trail. I would look for some road agents. It's probably not the Indians anyway. So it's a Deadwood reference. If you don't understand it, you should probably watch Deadwood. Now, they were here. They're attacked. Penelope is disemboweled.
Oh no.
Okay.
So she's a lone survivor.
Disemboweled. I guess they figured that ought to do it, and it didn't do it. So, in this legend, she gathered up her insides,
her innards,
in a papoose situation. I can only imagine. I guess
she's got to carry that around,
and then carries it with her where she hangs out in a hollowed out log again. So I feel like
common
attack
threads,
and log are probably true. And then finally, friendly Native Americans found her, sewed her up with vegetable fibers, and returned her sans fee for free. Just gave her to a European settlement. Said, "They look like you. Here you go, blue eyes," and fucking pushed her off. And there she completely voluntarily married Richard Stout.
Okay.
That's this legend. And in this version, she had 502 direct descendants when she died at the age of 110.
Oh boy.
So there's a lot of bullshit here.
There's no way anybody lived that long then.
No. And then 502 direct descendants. She'd also have to gather not only her bowels, but her vagina whenever she went anywhere, because it would be dragging behind her after she spit out 78 children in natural childbirth in the 1600s. Might be difficult.
To have 4 or 5 kids.
Might be difficult. Yeah, that'd be tough. So it's probably just bullshit anyway. So after that, some Quaker families came, to the area for whatever that's worth. You got your Quakers coming in, and then they were followed by a bunch of Scottish people who ended up here.
Okay.
So the Scottish and the Quakers. Now that's a combination. That's a party right there. You get them together.
Yeah, poor little.
You get those Quakers drunk, they'll fight you.
Yeah. Pour a little whiskey in your oatmeal.
Non-violence, my ass. They get all start getting angry at that point. You're like, Jesus Christ! Well, you guys are conscientious objectors. You guys are dicks.
Vicious.
So yeah, in 1693, they were basically partitioning townships at that point. That's when all of this came around. The county was named after Monmouthshire in Wales, in Great Britain.
All of the drop the shire.
Yeah, everything in New York is either after. There's a lot of Dutch shit in New York too, but it's a lot of British and a lot of Native American and
shitloads of Europe and then Native American.
Yeah.
There's nothing original.
No, God, no. We had nothing. When people came here, they just named it after where they're from.
That's
like here, then they would go west and go to like Iowa and name it after the shit from New Jersey, which was named from the other thing.
That's just they really didn't expect us to get from Iowa to New Jersey in the same day.
No one will know. No one will have any idea.
Hear about it.
Now, the Battle of Monmouth happened around here in 1778. George Washington's soldiers battled the British under Sir Henry Clinton here, and Sir Henry Clinton looks like if Prince was an older white man.
Hell yeah.
That's basically what he doesn't look like a tough man.
No.
Basically, no. He
doesn't look like he can punch.
You look at him and you're like, I don't know, this guy's no. And then our guys were trained under a guy named, this is a fucking handle right here, Frederick Wilhelm Ludolf Gerhard Augustine von Steuben.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, he had a head like a fucking Thanksgiving ham on him too. Just a big head. He looked tough. He looked like an older man who would kick your goddamn ass. Yeah, for like bad bar etiquette. He'd come over and just punch you off your stool for no reason. He goes, that'll teach you a lesson, and he'd walk away. And he'd be right.
Did you call the bartender sweetie? Do it again.
Everybody clapped for some reason. Like, that's what he looks like. Everybody like, all right. Way to punch that helpless man. So, yeah.
That helpless man who's been drinking all day.
Oh, he's hammered. His balance was way off anyway.
He blasted an old drunk man off of his bar stool.
So, notable people from this town, they try to claim Bruce Springsteen, who's not from here.
They love him.
It's like liars. Just liars. Town of liars.
But Jesus Christ, does the whole state love that man?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's New Jersey, and they're like, he's so much better than Bon Jovi. It's either that or that. So we got nothing else. Also, Wendy Williams is from here, your favorite. Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Bam Bam Bigelow's from Asbury Park, which is nearby. The wrestler with the flames on his head.
All right.
Remember Bam Bam Bigelow?
He's great.
He's a lot of fun. And that dickhead from MTV in the 90s, the Eric Nice guy. He was on like The Real World and The Grind.
Who's worse, him or Wendy Williams?
Oh, man.
He's an asshole.
I'll take Wendy Williams in a fight over him. I'll tell you that right now. If you say who's going to win, I go, I'll take Wendy. She takes those high heels off. She's going to fuck him up.
She's probably got a bigger
dick. Over. I would assume so. She's tougher than him, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a couple of Urban Dictionary definitions of this place that we'll buzz through here very fucking quickly.
All right.
One is Ocean Township. If you don't know what Urban Dictionary is, it's basically, I don't even know how to explain it.
It's a place that
it's an online, directory of.
You can look up the words your kids say.
Yeah, look that shit up and you'll know what it means.
And you'll understand what they're talking about.
This is the first town with an ocean with a dictionary entry here, so that we've done, I think. Ocean Township, a safe haven for rich white children who want to act like they live the lives of black kids in the projects without having to worry about the crime or poverty. Ironically, the local police also use this as an excuse for their behavior. Also good for popping your cherry before being a teenager or not having to leave school grounds for drugs. The school system frowns upon this behavior by demoting high school teachers who fuck their students to middle school teaching positions. Which, just go down the line till
keep putting them
until they're not attractive anymore.
Till it doesn't make your dick hard anymore.
Is that no? Oh shit. Okay. So that's one. And this definition has a 100 thumbs up to 31 thumbs down. So that's probably
pretty accurate.
It must be accurate. Yeah. And then another one here is Ocean Township. Many words that can describe Ocean Township, but the best one is all capital letters gay. And he doesn't mean, so.
I'm not calling it homosexual. No. It's just, not a great place.
That's what he said. I don't know. It's a very mature way of putting it. Ocean is filled with shitty people in traffic. The people in Ocean are biased motherfuckers, 2 words.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about each other, 1 word. Yeah. So that's New Jersey for you. Then he says Ocean has its fair share of jocks, gangsters, assholes, wannabes, and whatever else. It's a breakfast club over there.
Yeah.
But the main point is that all capital letters, most everyone is a bitch! ! So this still has 128 thumbs up to 92 thumbs down. So
it is a piece of shit place where everybody's a phony.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Population 27,105 in this doomed souls reside here. Mm-hmm. The ages are pretty normal. It's kind of normal. The 41 and a half is your average, is your median age. It's kind of more of a family kind of a joint here because you can commute places and it's in from the ocean. Yeah. It's not party Jersey.
No.
Don't picture Jersey Shore spreading their syphilus around.
No fist bumping.
It's not a lot of that
pumping,
probably.
Whatever they call it.
I don't fucking know. Jerking each other off.
Air jerks.
Air jerks. Give me an air jerk. Hey. Tickle my air balls. Come on. Give me some.
When they're in the club, they're that fucking fist pump, that thing that they just fucking to the beat of the stupid house music,
which is what Eastern European people do when they come here. Right. They're just like, "Yay! I am at the disco,
discotheque
with the women.
Yes.
Yay!" It's like, "Yay! I pump fist in air to celebrate no more communism." Huh? Hey. So, race of this town, about 70% white, about almost 8% black, 6% Asian. We haven't had something over the average of Asian in a long time here. 11% Hispanic, so it's, almost within averages here. About 57% religious, which is a shitload, because it's more of a family deal. 43% Catholic. Yep. Holy shit. Catholics are, as we know, everybody, the Baptists of the North. So, 3.3% Jewish.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila. I don't know the words. Hey. The best is when we do that at a live show and we're in Texas and you're like, outside of the Zamboni coming out at the hockey game, you've never heard this before, probably. Like, oh, that's that song at the hockey game they play, ain't it? Yeah, it is.
Hilarious.
About 43% Democrat, 52% Republican, 4% independent in the last election. Unemployment rates are kind of on point. Median income is about $78,000, which is $20,000 over the average.
Yeah.
So there's a few more dollars because, like I said, you can live somewhere else. But if we've convinced you nowhere else will do, nowhere else will suit you, then we have for you the Ocean Township Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $2,400 a month.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot. Yeah. Cost of living here, the housing is at $235.
Jesus.
And 100 is average, regular par. So median home cost here $438,700. That's what we're dealing with. 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,192 square feet. Looks like a fucking horror show. It looks like people were murdered there, and no one found the bodies, and they just cracked the door, and they said, fuck it, let's sell it. $359,900.
That's your low end.
That's the low end.
My God.
Found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that's in a livable condition. Not great, but livable. 1,689 square feet. $379,900 for that, though. Then I found a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,800 square foot house.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's kind of in a neighborhood, so you're kind of right next to your neighbor. But a nice house, in-ground pool, $894,500. Jersey's expensive.
East
Coast.
That's cheaper than Philly.
That's what I mean.
Good Lord.
And that's for New York City compared to that. For $894,000, you could get nothing in New York City. So good luck with that.
You're living in your car.
Yeah, 4,800 square feet and sounds a little better.
Yeah.
Things to do here in this place. They have, this is wonderful, by the way. They have the IAATO Italian Festival. Everybody, get your asses down here. They got sausage and fucking peppers.
Yeah.
Their big thing, free park on the sign. Bigger than anything. Free parking. Like it's that's the main, where am I going to park? I don't want to go. Oh, Teresa, we're not fucking going. I don't care if the kids want to go.
Yeah.
You make sausage and peppers if you want sausage. I ain't fucking going. There's nowhere to park down there. What are you kidding? Oh, wait a sec. Was this saying? Oh, free. Yeah, there's free parking.
We can go.
Get them in the fucking car, kids. Let's go. Come on. That's what is happening. That's
the East Coast, man.
Holy shit. It says easy in, easy out on the place. I swear to God. Easy in, easy out. Free I mean, the food, fireworks, the raffle, all this is in tiny letters. Free fucking parking. Easy in, easy out. Holy shit.
Goddamn, everything costs money to sit your car somewhere.
Oh, it does.
It's
absolutely
fucking crazy.
It is crazy. But this is Central Jersey. Like, this isn't at the beach. This isn't in the city. No. This is, Wendy Williams is from here. It shouldn't cost money to park. What are we talking
free
about?
Parking.
Free fucking parking.
Wendy Williams grew up here.
Free admission. Oh. Bring the fucking kids over here. Stuff your fat guinea face with sausage and fucking peppers. Get over here. Not only that, they have the banner on the site is my favorite for the Italian American, whatever the shit it is, group they have here. It says it's one sentence.
Yeah.
And it's in quotes.
Yeah.
It said, dedicated to all the children. Hey. Oh. Listen
for
to me.
The kids.
It's for the children. Hey,
Yeah.
You'd be a fucking wise ass saying it's not it's for the fucking children. What do I look like? That's why it's free parking. What do you like?
Take the money? Advantage anybody?
Well, I could charge you $5 to park and put it in my fucking pocket. I could make a few dollars. You know what I mean? I could do that, but it's for the dedicated to the children, you piece of shit. What's wrong with you? You lousy cocksuckers.
I can't get enough of that. Pretending to give a shit about kids.
Not only that, aggressively care.
Yeah.
It's dedicated to the children. I'll punch you right in the fucking teeth. Like, oh, what the...
Well, put a
Why are you so aggressive?
That says exactly that. Just that, matter of fact. Plain and simple, dedicated to the children.
I love it.
Don't even put our IATTO. None of it.
Oh, it's dedicated to the children. That's my favorite, is aggressively. I'll knock your fucking teeth down your throat. I'm such a good guy. That's how good of a guy I am. I'll break your fucking neck.
I'll do it for the kids.
For the children. That's how I'm a good guy.
Right.
It's insane. So everybody head out to that. Enjoy. But I bet there's really good food there. There probably is amazing sausage and peppers.
In a parking lot. And you're like, why can't
Jokes aside.
Susan, why can't you make it like this?
What's wrong with you?
It's in a fucking parking lot. I'm eating on asphalt. You can't do this in the comfort of my living room?
It was a piece of gravel in my last bite. You know what I mean? From the parking lot, but it was still pretty tasty. That's what I'm saying. You know, crime rate in this town. What we're interested in, besides children and dedicating things to children and sausage and peppers and free parking, is crime rate. Property crime is a little bit high, about 10% high. I mean, it's in the realm of average. Violent crime, though, murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, of course, is also about 10% high. So it's
pretty dangerous.
It's in the realm of normal.
It's fucking dangerous.
I get normal is dangerous. Yeah, that's true.
I want it way below it.
The normal state of America is dangerous, everybody. That's what it is. The normal state of the United States, dangerous.
And this, 10% higher.
Than dangerous. So, yeah. And you have those assholes who made those Urban Dictionary entries. So, with those guys walking around, it makes it even worse. Dangerous and those guys.
Right.
And people screaming at you about free parking. It's a fucking nightmare over there. I tell you.
Asphalt peppers.
Oh, God. Hey, this is a good asphalt pepper. That's not bad. It's a chunk of gravel, but I think they seasoned it. It's all right. You know what I mean? You put it in the pan with a little garlic and oil with the oil, you know.
I can taste the veal in it.
A little onion, little red onion. Just got it real thin, though, with the onions. You know, you don't want it to overpower.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your
all different.
Multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure, yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Real thin.
Real thin, you gotta slice the onions. Otherwise, it's too much.
Yeah.
You crunch on them. It's no good. So let's talk about a murder.
Okay.
Shall we? Let's do this.
Yeah.
For this, we're going to talk about a murder here. We're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in time to August 18th, 2010.
Yes.
So not too far back in time. This is a short journey for us.
Summer.
It's summer in Jersey. People have their tank tops on.
Ugh.
They're just disgusting.
Smelling of thin sliced onions.
Smelling of thin sliced onions and Paco Rabanne.
And asphalt.
And asphalt and Dracar Noir. This is my Dracar sausage and pepper sandwich. So yeah, you get it. You get Jersey. The sensor in the air, everything. Well,
there are a lot of smells.
There's a lot of smells going on. Well, there's this particular smell in the air this morning.
Okay.
It's 4:00 in the morning.
Yes.
And you want to talk about smells? This is a smell that you'd wake up to and go, that doesn't smell right. Even for Jersey, that's wrong. And I live close to the ocean. And it's wrong. Jersey's disgusting, by the way. I want to say this. As a child, I remember, you'd see like on the news as a kid, growing up in the 80s and 90s in New York. And they would have like news report basically, you can't go to the beach anywhere in Jersey because there's just a ton of medical waste that washed up today. So tough shit. Yeah. And they just close beaches for just long stretches of time.
Miles of it.
For medical waste. For there's just a lot of syringes and fucking, just a lot of AIDS rags.
We're not going to pick it up. We just got to wait for that to get washed back out.
They're like, I don't even know how you get an AIDS rag. Why would you make that? Who would just be like, clean up that AIDS with a rag? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. But they'd be like, that's what's out there. I don't know. It's Jersey. There's AIDS rags and there's
designated for AIDS blood.
That's it. That's what we... That's what it is.
Like a shop vac.
That's what washed up.
Only
Sorry.
use that in the shop.
And it was like in the 80s where people were like, oh my God, Jesus, if there's AIDS blood, and then everybody'd freak out. And it was disgusting at the beach, and nobody wanted to go to Jersey. And we used to go anyway. I remember that was like the big vacation.
God, fuck.
You get to go down to the Jersey Shore.
We'll walk down to the yellow tape and come back.
Oh man. I remember going down to that Jersey Shore.
Gross.
You go to the beach and it's just windy and cloudy all the time. It's awful.
Gray rolling waves.
It's like Game of Thrones all the time in Jersey. That's what it feels like. This was like in the summer.
Yeah.
It was rough, man.
Just black.
Yeah. Sorry.
Everything's just black.
It's rough.
It's not a great place. It's just dirty. It's just dirty.
Jersey's. And there, what the fucked up part is too? There are nice pockets of Jersey. Mm-hmm. There really is. There's some nice areas of Jersey that are really nice. It's just you'll never see them because it's not what's off.
Because you've got to drive through nowhere.
It's not what's off the turnpike. Right. You got to drive deep. You got to get deep into Jersey. And then near the beach, it's going to be shit too because it's basically where people go. That's terrible.
Right.
The kind of less attacked.
They've been doing that for 200 or 300 years, going to that area.
Yeah. So anyway, this morning there is a particular scent in the air. It's about 4:00 in the morning, and a woman in Long Branch, New Jersey, which is just northeast of this, actually near the ocean.
Got it.
You know,
this is a beach community. community.
This is an actual near the beach here. There's a woman, and she smells something, sees out her window of her apartment that there's a car on fire near her apartment.
Those smell terrible.
They smell awful because you get rubber burning and
rubber,
plastics and
plastic metals, wires,
oil.
You heard a wire fire or smelled a wire fire?
Well, that's the worst.
God, it's so bad.
It's such a particular smell.
It really is. That electronic burn.
What is that electronic burn?
It's really bad.
Is that a stroke or are my speakers going bad? What's happening? What are we doing here? Yeah, that's a scary one. When you smell that electronic burn, you're like, that's not good. So either my entire system is just fucking shutting down.
Or everything. I need a medical. I have a medical emergency.
There's a problem. So that's what I meant. That would be the medical emergency. My body systems are shutting down. Yeah. So she calls, to someone to put it out. I assume the fire department. I don't know. Maybe she called somebody else.
I hope it was them.
Maybe she just got on her Uber Eats app. Hey guys,
do you guys deliver waters? I need a lot.
Took McDonald's breakfast, and on the way here, could you put out that car fire in front of my apartment?
If McDonald's would send a couple of those bags of ice that are $1,
that'd be good.
We can throw those on the fire.
That's $2 for $1. Can't beat it. So the police and the fire department get there, and it's a 2001 Nissan Altima is the car, and it's a really raging fire too. It's all mainly focused on the back of the car. The front of the car isn't really on fire. It's mainly the back of the car, the trunk, and
gas tank.
The gas. You can see the back of the car is basically melted to the road. Okay. Like the back bumper's melted down to the road because the tires popped and were melted. So it's just kind of droopy.
Okay.
It's like who's the cartoon, the old cartoon dog that was all droopy. Is that the name?
Dog.
Droopy Dog.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Well, that's not very creative. Who fucking came up with that?
You just nailed it, and you were trying just to describe him.
I drew this. It's a droopy dog. We're gonna go with that.
What'd you draw there? I don't have a name for him yet. He's just like this droopy dog. Perfect.
You know what?
You've done great.
Sometimes it's right in front of you, and you don't need to. Sometimes you take what's there, and then you take an early lunch. That's what you do. Sometimes you take what the universe gives you, and you fucking ease back. Don't force it. Don't force it.
You sit around waiting too long trying to name it, and there's going to be a long line out the front of the sandwich shop. Get down there and get your shit first.
What's he look like to you? There you go, droopy dog. Done. Sold.
You can go with Barry the Basset. Doesn't sound as good as Droopy Dog.
They're fucking kids. They're idiots. They don't care. What do they know?
You're gonna make it much easier for them to remember it.
An adult said it, so they'll think it's good.
Right.
They don't know any better. So that's how it works. So anyway, they put this fire out, and it was a hard one to put out. It didn't want to go out. Obviously, it's a Jersey fire. The rough. All that Aquanet.
The oil in the air.
It's the oil. It's the Aquanet. It's a lot going on. Pizza grease is everywhere. It's difficult. That orange shit that drips off.
It's why the humidity stays in the air longer because it's oil.
It's what it is. It's very thick. It's very thick.
Yeah.
So what they find is inside the trunk, when they pry the trunk open because it's all melted together, they find the body of an adult human person. A male is what they can tell from it, but that's it because it's a burned up body in this trunk. And I don't have much else to go on except here's a car with a burned out body in it, and they're like, well, what the fuck do we do here? So, it's kind of a dead end at this point, and they don't know what to do. So, that was, now keep in mind dates, August 18th, 2010. Now let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back a few years.
Okay.
Let's go back years and let's talk about some people instead. All right? Let's set the tone. Car fire.
That was 2010.
Looming over our heads, August of 2010. Now let's talk about a guy named Stephen Moore. A guy named Stephen Moore. Stephen Moore, the best way to describe him is just a laid back kind of guy.
Okay.
He's laid back. He's a happy kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of dude. He's from Southern California. He's raised in Southern California, which, if you don't know, couldn't be more geographically and theoretically completely opposite of New Jersey.
Yeah, lifestyle-wise, it's completely different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
If you get on a plane in Newark and you fucking fly to San Diego and you get off a plane, you're like, what other? I'm in a different country.
How did this happen?
There's no way this is the same country. There's no goddamn way I'm in the same country.
How can the culture go so far?
That's the thing. In the U.S., everybody goes, how are we so fragmented? Because we're like 5 different countries. That's why. We're not fucking...
Size-wise,
nothing connects
in the
us.
first place, right.
Nothing connects us other than if we pool together and have a big army, we can keep people away from this continent. Other than that, what connects New Jersey to Alabama? Have you ever been there? There's nothing similar to them. Nothing.
Connect Omaha to New York City. You can't do
nothing.
It. There's nothing.
Connect Portland to... Some of them are like Portland and Minneapolis are kind of very similar places. If you like Portland, you'll probably like Minneapolis.
Portland and Orlando, entirely different worlds.
No, completely the same. Yeah, it's there's a Northwest, there's a West Coast, there's like a Plains area, and the cultures are completely different.
There's
the
a
Northeast,
Southwest.
the South.
We are right next to California, Arizona, and entirely different.
Entirely different.
You can drive from Phoenix to LA in an afternoon, and it's entirely different.
And it's not like it changes with people. There's just desert, and then when you pop out on the other side of the desert, people are different and things are different, and you're like, why is it not like that over on there? What happened? Why is weed illegal here and it's fine over here? It's just desert.
You know what? Also, go to Riverside, then go to LA. Entirely different worlds.
Entirely different worlds. Yeah, that's a good point.
And those are fucking close.
Go to Riverside and go anywhere else, and it's an entirely different world. It's fucking Riverside. Come on now. People from Riverside right now are nodding along. Like, I know.
The Reno of California.
What? They're right. They're right. That's all there is to it. Shit. No, they already have Sacramento.
Yeah, they do.
So, actually, Sacramento's nice. Sacramento's like
it's not bad.
Sacramento feels like it's in the Midwest.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's because they've got that the small town feel of like being personal, but then they're the capital, so they take that shit.
They have
serious.
That. Otherwise, it wouldn't be
no
much
reason
there.
to be in Sacramento.
It would be a smaller town. But we liked it there. I liked Sacramento. I thought it was nice
great.
and quiet, and the people were cool.
Fucking
None of the
rad.
people were from there that came to the show, though. They were all from like Reno.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, I'm from Reno or San Jose, shit like that. Which I was like, okay, cool.
Some of the fucking valley.
They drove, though. So, Steven here. Steven is from Southern California. Laid back kind of cat. He's a beach guy.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a certain laid back. You can't be all amped up at the beach.
No.
It's just one of those things. Jerry Seinfeld always says, that beach. Yeah. In New Jersey, you can be. Look at those fucking medical waste. Clean up the AIDS rags. Come on. I got my kids here, for Christ's sake.
Smells like fish. Fish don't come 100 miles within the sand.
They're all dead.
Right.
They all fucking die. Where's my sausage?
Somebody skim the water.
Oh, skim the
fish out of here.
Can we skim the ocean, please? Jesus Christ. So, yeah, it's a different type of thing. He lives out there. He's a laid back, calm kind of cat. He grows up with his mom. Yeah. Obviously. Well, not obviously. Some people don't, but it's. I would call it not uncommon to grow up around your mother.
Probably a little more common than not.
It's a little common. So, but he hangs out with his mom like a lot into adulthood.
Oh.
His mom's a travel agent. Yeah. And by the way, for you younger listeners, that used to be a job where you would call a human being most of the time about a 49 to 58-year-old woman who was recently divorced. You'd call her. That's who was a travel agent. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's you're laughing, looking down,
true.
But that's who was in the 80s. That's a travel agent. You're like, I'm getting my life together.
Right.
I said, you know what, Cal, I'm not doing it anymore, and I lost 30 pounds.
Right.
And I got my real estate license, and I'm doing this on the side.
She'll like the mom from Beetlejuice.
It's fine,
right?
And I'm gonna make my own way.
Right.
Me and my children. I don't need anybody else. That's the 80s travel agent lady. So you would call a lady, and then you would ask them. You'd tell them where you want to go, and in the general vicinity, and how much money you want to spend, and they would like procure you plane tickets and hotel reservation. They do all this stuff that you can do in 10 seconds on your phone now.
Right.
So that's why it's not a job anymore.
It was probably a job because it was probably racketeering, where you'd be like, here's $600, I need this plane ticket, and they'd find it for $80 and then pocket the rest of that shit.
Probably, yeah. There you go.
You got your $400
I got
ticket.
a package, because travel agents would have travel agents would put together like packages that you'd buy, and
a rental car and a hotel and take it to wherever,
and they'd work it out with different ones. They'd probably all make a profit. Yeah,
I'm sure they were on the take.
Sons of bitches. So
how much are you looking to spend? $7,000. I
perfect.
can do that.
I got a trip for you. Hey, you know what? It's $7,000. Your lucky day.
Weird. Taxes, everything included.
Your lucky day. $7,000.
Take spending money for food.
Pretty fun. It's going to be good. The buffet is not included. So, Yeah, so she's a travel agent. Travel agents used to travel a lot because they, through their connection with these airlines, they were the special liaison, so they would get all sorts of like perks from the airlines and hotels.
Keep
and shit.
Everybody's miles.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think they would just, it was like a commission thing for you too. They would, whatever. So travel agents would get free tickets everywhere and they would travel all over the world. And if you're a travel agent, it also helps your business to travel, to tell people.
Yeah.
I went here, it's great, and blah, blah, blah. You can describe it. Yeah.
Go do it.
It's one of those
You're
things.
Lose your fucking mind.
Yeah. It's like I said,
$7,000.
what you can do on your phone in 10 seconds now. You know what they have there? This and this and that. Hey, look, there's a picture of that. Right. No slideshow from some lady. So anyway.
Thank you, Yelp and Hotel Tonight.
Thank you so much. So they would go all over the world, and Steven would travel with her. Mm-hmm. So he was cool with that. They traveled. They went to Asia. They went to South America. Mm-hmm. They got pictures of them sitting on elephants and shit. Like,
really?
Yeah, they did all sorts of,
cool shit.
Cool shit. Yeah. So he traveled around, all sorts of shit that would be awesome if you weren't a grown man doing it with your mother.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure would impress the pants off a lady.
Yeah, if mom wasn't here. Right. Now, there's nothing wrong with hanging out with your mom. You should hang out with your mom. But if you're a grown man and you're like going on a trip to Rio and you got mom with you, it's just not really the normal
should do that
trip.
Like once every, I don't know, 20 years or so.
Go to like Mount Rushmore with mom. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, or somewhere. Like
don't go to Rio where
they're like going to South America,
right? Where the reasonably priced hookers are at.
That's what I mean, exactly. Yeah, you know what? That's how you should judge who you go with. Yeah. How much are the prostitutes? Because I really feel like that is going to be. And
are you going to partake?
That's the thing. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go there and you're going to get yourself third world prostitutes, and you're going to want them to be very inexpensive. You can't have your mom next.
God, no.
Can you imagine?
You're going to have multiples.
Can you imagine that people go to other countries just for like cheap, weird sex?
That's bizarre.
I could not imagine being like, I'm going to
cheap, weird sex.
I'm going to buy a human being and travel for. It's just so weird.
Cheap, weird sex that's like vastly and insanely illegal here.
Yeah,
like that
super
kind
illegal.
Of shit.
Yeah,
it's not just like going and finding a girl somewhere that's like downtrodden and probably for sure sex trafficked around the fucking world.
Yeah.
It's like finding an 8-year-old boy to do horrible things to. That's crazy.
And girls and boys.
And it's happening right now while we're talking.
And all
that's
sorts of
fucking
shit.
Nuts.
Yeah, there's crazy places in the world. People go on these weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, why are you going there? Oh, no reason.
No reason at all. They just happen to have endangered koalas that I
really need to check them out.
Tied to a chair.
I'm gonna jerk off on them. I mean, I'm gonna look at them.
Go feed them.
Yeah,
throw them a peanut.
Super weird, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's weird people in the goddamn world that go to weird places to do weird things.
Watching those like documentaries on, not even documentaries, it's just Dateline like catching people doing it and catching a doctor doing it in some fucking crazy Cambodian village, and then they come back 6 months later and catch the same fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
How do you catch the same guy over and over?
I read a thing recently where this woman found out that she was the product of her mother's gynecologist impregnated dozens of women.
What?
He was people who wanted to do whatever he would do it. He was putting his own semen, his own essence into people.
What?
And so
when they wanted like artificial insemination, he was putting
his in there.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So like
my God,
they were trying to find all his patients lists and go back over and find dozens and dozens of kids that they're all his.
Is he dead?
I don't remember.
I
that
hope
part
somebody
of the story.
beats him to death.
This woman was fucking furious, and I don't blame her.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she's like, found out that's my dad. So it was pretty creepy shit. Yeah, so look it up out there. I think it was in Texas.
My God,
I'm not sure.
Fucking horrifying.
It's one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard in my life. Reading it, I'm like, I don't even know how you gather yourself after that.
When people like say horrible things about guys, and then I want to go, I'm not one of them. Like, it's not everybody.
No.
Then you hear that story and you're like, we're all shitbags. We all suck bad. That's
well, that's going to take. You're taking a big radius down with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You and anyone who looks like is pretty much going to be an asshole after that happens. You know,
whatever that guy looks like, anybody close is a shitbag.
It's one of those things. It's like you have to. Yeah.
Fuck.
That's just going to be human nature.
Terrible.
So these two, they go around the world, not on sex tours, not to find young boys or anything like that, just to have mom
that we know of.
We know of.
Right.
Yeah, they might have had a weird mother-son connection, but I don't think so. Okay. They seem like nice people. His mom's name is Evelyn. She seems like a nice lady also. Steven's personality traits are he is kind of, he's laid back. That would be his number one personality trait. Laid back, cool, calm, not real ambitious as well.
Lazy?
And not considered lazy. That's the thing. Like, he's not a guy who like just sits on the couch and doesn't have a job. He's always got a job. He's always doing something. He just doesn't have any real ambition.
He doesn't want to be CEO. He just wants to work.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't want to be CEO, and he gets a job and he doesn't want to move his way up the ladder. He just works there for a little while till he's tired of it, and then he gets another job.
Yeah.
Always has a job. He just never has any direction. He's never like, I'm working toward, I got this business idea, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
Work
He's just
to
like,
live, not live to work.
Just he lives by the beach, and that's he's hanging out by the beach. He's traveling with his mom.
He's San Diego.
That's what I mean. He's very just like, this is good.
Yeah.
What do I need? I got the beach here. This is great.
So California. You never heard that song.
I know what you're going to say about it.
It's a country song.
It sounds terrible.
I love Gary Allen.
Gary Allen?
He's great. You know it's his middle name. You know it is.
Gary Allen. He just sounds like a boring, nondescript. How you doing?
And he's not.
Gary Allen
badass.
Here. Let me sing for you. I took my truck to the store today.
That's Gary Allen.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
You nailed it.
I don't know if they're gonna have what I want.
They were out at 2% milk.
Oh, shit, I had to get 1%. It's got a blue tint to it, and I don't like it.
It's got a blue tint.
It looks like this one. The color of an old lady's hair dye. Why?
That's a great truck. It's a great song, and bless you, Gary Allen.
Sorry, Gary Allen. I don't know anything about you, but I just gave you a terrible song.
He's got a sleeve of tattoos. His wife committed suicide, and he took a break from country music, and then he came back, and he's better than ever. I love him.
Well, yeah, his wife committed suicide. He's a country artist. He hit the jackpot. He hit the fucking country jackpot, man. Jesus Christ. Only thing that would be better for him is his kid died of cancer. For fuck's sake. He's going to fucking sing sad songs about, that's great, my baby. There's a million things you could sing about your dead woman and your...
Got a good point.
You could go through the whole thing. He'll write an album about every stage of her sickness.
Yeah.
It's
No, she had this lady. You got a point, but she just out of the blue just shot herself. And he.
Oh my.
Yeah. So he took a break for a while, and then he came back, and he's fucking rad. I love the guy. He's so good.
He's sad, probably.
I'm sure he's
ecstatic.
I think he's horribly sad.
Okay.
And it's great for him. It's working out.
Well, good for him.
I like it.
So comedy and country music.
Yeah. Fucking
bad
embrace
things
it.
are good for.
Embrace it.
Now, Steven, one thing he is into. This is what he is into.
Okay.
He's got an interest, Jimmy. Mm-hmm. What do you? And that's we think stamp collecting. Maybe he's into
bodybuilding at the beach.
Try rollerblading.
Oh no!
And I'm talking not like, hey, I like to rollerblade for exercise. No. He's like into it.
Oh boy!
He tries to get other people into it. He's the fastest.
No,
of all his friends. Yeah, he's so good at rollerblading that he takes the bronze medal in the national speed skating competition.
The nationals.
The bronze, which is great because there was up to and including 4 contestants for that. So he is right at the, he's right there.
He made a shot.
He's right
on
there.
The podium. Got a podium
That's what
finish.
I'm saying. There's one guy just going, you motherfucker.
You son of
you
a
lousy
bitch.
bastard. Look at you in your goddamn lime green bike shorts. You son of a bitch bastard. So that's how much he's into it. That's the only thing he really has ambition for is rollerblading, which is a shame because there's absolutely no way to make a living at that.
No.
I don't think there's a rollerblading. Is there some sort of professional rollerblading
There's
league?
got to be something.
If so, I don't think it pays well.
I mean, if you're into it, you could create your own rollerblade line and
there you go.
Have a name in rollerblading and sell those.
I don't think he's doing that, though. No, he doesn't seem like he has the ambition for that. But he loves to skate fast and shit like that.
Sell at least 4 pairs.
Yeah. He doesn't really have a serious girlfriend. We're talking all through his 20s. He gets to be 30.
Playboy.
He's still Playboy, just going around the world with mom on his rollerblades.
Crushing it.
Playboy. Yeah. If that doesn't say Playboy, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
So he's all through the 90s, he's just hanging out, kind of just, directionless, rudderless, and, just rollerblading and shit like that. So finally, though, his mother decides she's going to retire from the real estate, from the travel agent business, which is in like 2003, which really wasn't a choice at that moment.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a choice to retire. It was just kind of like
retired her.
People figured out the internet.
Right.
It's over.
William Shatner has put an end to your career.
Ruined me.
Yeah.
10,000 travel agents or one idiot. One wife-killing jackass. Take your pick.
You know what? Your job is so insignificant, a garden gnome has put you out of business.
Exactly. That's all of you. Every last one of you.
Every last one
of you
garden
bastards.
gnome.
I'm sorry. Well, at least by then, most of them probably were to retirement age, so good for them.
Yeah.
They all started in their 50s.
And they've seen the world.
Oh, they've seen it all, so they have pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
So now Evelyn, his mother, decides, and this is a weird choice, not a choice we see a lot in the world. She decides to retire and move from the beach of Southern California to New Jersey.
Oh, boy.
Which is not she's going against the migration pattern, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
There's several migration patterns from the East Coast. None of them are to New Jersey for retirement. You flee New Jersey as soon as you stop working, and they go to Florida, or they come out here, or somewhere else.
You're navigating the stampedes coming toward San Diego as you get back to Jersey.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
they go
crazy.
They go to like South Carolina. They don't go here.
You're a salmon swimming upstream.
Yeah,
Stop
wrong.
this.
See, weird shit. So, yeah, you are where you should be. So she heads to New Jersey, and Steven says, well, I have nothing else here, really. I don't have a life. I'll just pack my car up and move with mom to New Jersey. Now, at the same time, too, he wants to be closer to, he doesn't want to be 2,000, 3,000 miles away from his mom. His mom's a diabetic also, so he said, I want to be close to her in case anything happens.
She needs help.
Shit like that. She doesn't really need help.
No, but
just he wants to be close.
nearby.
In case there's anything.
Right.
Plus, I just think he's a little bit enmeshed.
Okay.
And, and it's not a bad thing. People are, but I think he's a little enmeshed. He hasn't separated himself.
Got it.
From his.
He needs mom.
He needs mom. Exactly. He needs mom. If you're 30 and you haven't had any serious relationships and you travel around the world with your mom and you hang out with your mom and she's retired and you want to move, like, you haven't broken out into your own life yet. It's nice, but at
You're not
some
an
point,
individual yet.
At some point, you haven't made yourself your own life.
Yeah.
You need to get your life.
Right.
And you can hang out with your mom too, because it's great to spend time. Don't ditch your parents, but Jesus Christ. But you also need a life as well, and that you can then go tell your parents about.
Right.
And they can be proud of you for it. But they can't be proud of you for you
being their shadow.
You're here all the time.
Right.
You're next to me. Do something to make me proud, damn it.
Have a meal without me.
Yeah, give me grandchildren. Okay?
You can't do that in front of me.
I'm I don't want to see it.
Right.
Put it that way. I realize I saw it in Thailand, Stephen, but not now. So
this is not Cambodia.
This is not Cambodia. So, so they pack their cars up, they go, and that's it. This is in about 2004. They end up in New Jersey, and so they're there a couple years. Steven continues his ways. He gets some jobs and kind of loses some jobs. Not loses, but finds other jobs and things like that. Everybody likes Steven, too. Nice guy, laid-back dude, and he's not like a guy who they're like, Jesus Christ, he shows up and falls asleep on the job. He's not that kind of guy.
He tries.
He tries. He's just like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. He just hasn't found his way. Yeah. He seems like a guy who is perpetually 22 years old.
Awesome.
And like just graduated college and doesn't know what he's going to do with himself. He's just going to sleep on mom's couch for a few months till he figures it out.
Listen, I'd love to have done that.
Sounds wonderful.
If I had no kids by the time I was 28,
we both had kids.
That would
young,
be amazing to be able just to
difficult. We never did that.
No, I had to make a living for somebody else.
We were to have some responsibility, or watch them, make sure they don't die.
Right.
You know how that works.
Right.
So finally in 2006, he meets a woman. He meets a woman named Kathleen Dorset.
She sounds hot.
So he meets her and he's into her.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's weird because this is the first time he's really, been kind of telling people, look, I met this woman, I dig her, and blah, blah, blah. He's in his 30s, so they're happy for him. They're like, hey, good for you, Now, Kathleen, she's a kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
So, I mean, not like she's, she dances at a couple different places.
Right.
One of them, it's a Hell's Angels bar, not going to lie to you, but, it's one of the more, it's not one of those deals.
And the other one's in Thailand.
The other one's it's in Thailand. She doesn't actually dance there. She just manages the 8-year-old boys. So it's not her.
Okay.
She's a kindergarten teacher, and her parents, she's very close with her parents. They live across the street. She lives across the street from her parents.
Okay.
She's got a house across the street from her, like right across the street.
At least it's not in her house.
That's the thing. Yeah. They don't live together,
Yeah.
but it's like, the house, it's next door and across the street.
But I can see why they like each other. They're both very into the family.
They're both
aspect.
enmeshed in their families.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a big thing for Steven too, because I feel like when he's around her, she's all in with her family, and I think that makes him feel comfortable because that's what he's used to. Right. So that's a possibility. So her parents too. She comes from a nice family. Her parents are known as good people. Her father Thomas owns a refrigeration business, like an air conditioning and refrigeration.
Small business shit.
Yeah, and he's known as like kind of the fix-it guy on the street.
Oh.
He's a guy where if let's say something, you have breaks that's, I don't know, my air conditioner's not working, something. Before you call anybody to repair it, you call Thomas to come over and take a look at it.
Who you need.
Or he might be able to fix it.
Or it might be able to wrap it up right now.
That's the thing. He'll go over and fix shit for people, and it's like the street handyman. He shovels people's old ladies' driveways without being asked. He's just like, hey, this is what he does. He's like the street mayor kind of a thing, I would call him. It's the best way to put it. Mayor of the street, which is, it seems like a nightmare.
How do you know when to stop shoveling?
When there's no more snow left, where you want a car to go.
Okay, I guess that's a good point.
It's the easiest.
How do you find the road? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how plow drivers do that shit.
Oh,
and they do it
plowing.
fast.
Oh yeah. They just they have a plow, so they just go, and whatever they hit is the road now. Your mailbox
is that what it
part
is?
of the fucking road now. That's it.
That's nuts.
You can see because there are places I assume where you probably can't see, but they
just drive.
They just drive, push that shit off to the side. And,
what if there's a curb there? You know what I mean?
That's why the curbs are so dinged up back east.
God,
look at all the curbs are all fucked up back east. That's why snowplows hitting them. Yeah, and they've been there for 150 years, and things happen. But
I see these guys on the Weather Channel with it's just white, and then they're just driving a truck just blasting snow out of an area.
That's what you do.
What if that's not the road, man?
It's the road now. There's no snow here, so if you're going to drive on the road with the snow or here without it, I suggest here. What are you doing? Making a road. Making things happen.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I guess you got a point. I just can't. I don't know how they do it. I don't understand how
making
that's
a road, pussy. So yeah, it's fucking crazy. So he's busy with his business though, and his wife, Kathleen's mom, Leslie, is a member of the local school board. She's an elected member of the school board, so she's known as. People elected her to look over school shit.
People know who she is.
She's trustworthy and I would assume nurturing or of some kind as well. And Kathleen, same thing. She's always wanted kids. She loves children. She's a kindergarten teacher. She's very studious, Kathleen.
Yeah.
She's very opposite Steven when it comes to this. Steven's real laid back.
Yeah.
He's a guy where, let's say back in the day, if he had a checkbook, he's going to write his checks, and at the end of the day, he's going to try to remember what he did and jot it down in his check. He's not going to be like, what was that? 5603. Okay, hold. What was the name of it?
Yeah.
He's not that guy. He's just like, whatever, it's cool. I'll figure it out. But he's not irresponsible. He's just laid back. He's a fucking beach guy.
And she keeps it all together.
Oh
one
my
by one.
God.
Yeah.
She's there.
2 by 2.
It's everything is lined up. Yeah. Everything's lined up, scheduled. There's on calendars and things are done. And which
track, James.
And they might fill in each other's gaps, which hopefully is, hey, we'll fill in your gaps.
Yeah.
So they might fill out in each other's gaps in terms of, he needs a little more down to earthness or responsibility, and she could probably loosen up a little bit.
Chill out, bitch.
She could probably, cheer up, bitch. She could probably use a little bit of relax in her as well, because she is considered a bit uptight. That's the thing, and not in like well, I'm trying to get my shit together uptight, like in unnecessarily uptight. Like, all right, relax now. Yeah. We get it. All right, calm down, Kathleen.
You're making an ass of yourself.
Yeah, come down here. So, but everybody in the neighborhood knows her family. They know her. They're nice people, sociable people. Steven's mother's thrilled for him.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping, you got a car payment due, there's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Yeah.
Probably just because I can finally get some time to myself now. For the love of God. Jesus Christ, I can finally just sit in the tub with a box of wine and a big dildo and chill the fuck out.
I don't got to worry about when I walk in this room, is there going to be a 30-year-old man dick out
I'm gonna
being stroked?
I'm going to buy 107 dildos. Sorry, the dildo thing. That's where I was going. I wasn't trying to be just crass. So
That's fantastic.
It was a callback there, yeah. So I'm buying 107 dildos, a box of wine.
I need you to move out because I need that room as my D room.
Trimming up the pucker brush and we're going to fucking town. All right? It's going to be...
Staple him to the fucking wall.
Act 2, bitches! Get ready!
I can't go to Cambodia anymore. I need a room in my house for that shit.
That's right. I'm going to be filthy. So, yeah, she's Kathleen, though, kindergarten teacher in Neptune, New Jersey. And he is excited and she's excited. The mother, Evelyn's excited for Steven because he seems happy, number one. And, he seems like, oh, my son's growing up finally. He's getting it's just one of the steps. You don't have to have relationships, but one of the steps of if someone's kind of, I don't know, stunted in their adulthood a little bit, then they find a long-term relationship with someone who seems solid. You go, that seems like a step toward more maturity anyway.
And not just that, but a happier life.
And
too,
a happier life.
know?
If he's happy, too. That's the other thing. He's excited. He wanted to find somebody. He just never did. So it wasn't like he didn't give a shit. So, she like I said, she owns her own house right across the street from her children, from her parents, which is weird. Steven, at one point, they go out to California because Steven's so excited he wants to introduce Kathleen to all of his friends, like all of his old friends. So he takes her there. I'm sure he made her rollerblade at some point. She had to rollerblade.
You're not going to believe how much fun this is.
Oh, you're going to love it. And she's like,
I feel like a dork. I think they're laughing at us. Those are children.
There's children throwing rocks at us. Do you understand? And they're laughing at us. It's not cool.
Not at all.
That 8-year-old just called you a homo. I'm just going to say. I don't know.
It was either you or he called me.
It was super immature.
Are you going to fight him? Because if he called
super immature, I would say. But he's 8, so what do you expect? I don't know where he learned that language. I'm not happy about it, but So this is so. His friends thought it was interesting. They were happy for him, obviously, but they were like, "Wow, they're really different." Yeah, they're just way opposite of each other. They were a little bit taken aback by how different they were, but they said it seemed to work. It was one of those things where the first 5 minutes you meet him, you're like, "Whoa, this is really opposite," but then a couple hours into it, you're like, oh, they kind of fill in each other's, those soft spots. So
what she can't do, he can. What he can't do, she can.
Yeah, they went out, eating dinner and shopping and hanging out at the beach and doing all that kind of shit. When they in New Jersey is even more into his career now. He gets a job at a Honda dealership and he works his way up and becomes like an assistant manager.
Oh, look at this!
Look, he doesn't quit after 6 months. He's into it. He's doing well. They give him the keys. He's the guy that opens the shop up or opens the place up in the morning.
What year is this?
This is 2006, 2007 ish. So I mean, he's doing. It's like shocking. Like, oh my God, there's a new Steven. He's got a relationship. He's caring about his job. He's got a promotion, and he's like excited about it. He's not like, oh great, now I'm going to be trapped here.
Now I got shit to do.
Yeah, Christ, now I have responsibilities. But he was into it. He told his friends that he feels like he's growing up. You know what I mean? His work says, his manager said he's a team player, and if anything you need, you can depend on Steven for it. He's right there, and so it was like
no boss has ever said that about me.
No, they're like, well, if he applies himself, he's all right. He complains a lot.
I remember I got a job.
He says why a lot, and I feel like that's a problem.
I got a job because I knew I was going to get fired from another job, and when the people that
I can sense it coming. I feel it when it's coming.
When the people from the new job called him to ask
like
him
a buffalo feeling an earthquake.
He was super encouraging of them to hire me. So that he didn't have to fire me.
Fucking Trojan horsed you in there. He's great.
But he told them he's really good when you focus your time with him and teach him how to do things. That's what he told them, that they're going to have some fucking trouble teaching me how to do what I needed to do.
He's a little slow. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a touch slow.
But that's exactly what he did, is Trojan horsed me in there.
That's hilarious.
He didn't want to.
That is,
but he was going to have to.
So fucking funny, man. Trojan horsed him. That's rough. It's like, oh no, he's the best.
He didn't say that.
I'm sad to lose him. Yeah. I'm depressed about it, honestly.
I think he said that.
I think he'll be happier, and you know what? He's been so good with me that I wanted to do the best by him.
I think this is a good transition for him.
I think it'd be great for him.
I'm pretty sure he said those words.
And then you left, and he did like a happy dance. He was like, yes,
he's like,
gone.
Not gonna have to pay unemployment.
Yeah,
not gonna have to pay.
Fuck that guy. He's terrible at his job.
Not our problem anymore.
Peace, bitch.
Now he's yours.
So Steven and Kathleen, they're getting really close, and Kathleen is anxious to start a family. She's a kindergarten teaching woman in her 30s.
Yeah.
She wants fucking kids, and she wants them now. She wants them yesterday. So she's like, you are going to impregnate me immediately. Let's do this shit. Which, I mean, biological clock is ticking, and she likes kids and wants kids.
Yeah.
Works around kids every day. So give me a goddamn kid here. So they, April 1st, 2007, they get married.
Yeah.
So look at this. So, I mean, he went from 2 years before this directionless guy who's following his mom across the country.
Right.
Now he's got a job and he's got a wife that wants a family, and he's hey, look at him. He's making a life for himself here. So he was just really happy. He said that he told his friends that he's finally settling down now, and he feels like a real grown up. He's like, I got a family here. I got my mom I take care of. I got a job. I feel like I'm doing things. You know what I mean? And right away, like I said, Kathleen wants kids yesterday. So about a year and a half after the wedding, they have a daughter. Young Elizabeth is born, and cute little kid.
Yeah.
And so very nice there. They have a daughter.
Happy?
Yeah, it's about December-ish 2008. Elizabeth is born. He's happy. There's pictures of them all, him
Smiling
with his little girl, and
I understand.
You have a little girl.
Yeah.
I have a little girl.
It's awesome.
Like, oh, look at this. This is great.
crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, and Kathleen was all about having a kid. She was into this shit. She makes her own baby food.
Eek.
She uses reusable diapers.
No.
Yeah.
Those
she doesn't
people
use
are terrible.
That's just disgusting.
That's my mother.
Making your own baby food is one thing.
Yeah,
but
my mom didn't do that. She used the diapers because she was a broke bitch.
she was cheap.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah.
She didn't have money to be putting things on me and throwing them away.
Away.
That's literally throwing your money away. That's the way she saw it.
It's also covered in shit.
Yeah, it's also throwing shit away, Mom.
You know when I throw my money away? When it's covered in shit. I go, I'm going to throw that away.
Not my mom.
That
she
dollar's
takes that
covered in
money
shit.
and washes it and then covers it in shit again.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
And I found out because she had me dust the furniture when I was a teenager.
Oh, God, with your shit rags?
Yeah. I was like, this rag is thick. It's weird. And she's like, it used to be your diaper. I'm like, that's disgusting, as I threw it across the room.
You used to shit in that. Great, thanks.
I don't even know how long does shit particles stay on things?
I mean, you could wash it, but it's never really going to go away.
No, they're always on there.
It's always in there.
Yeah.
Once it's...
I don't think you can ever just wash all of it out.
You can't de-shit something,
no,
I don't feel like.
never.
Once it's... Yeah, once there's poop, there's poop. That's all there is to it.
It's why we make it all go away.
Yeah, get rid of it. It goes in a little thing and it's gone.
It has a specific receptacle.
It's gone. We don't save it for a while and then take it out in a bag like garbage in the kitchen. It's gone immediately.
And we use harsh fucking chemicals to clean that thing.
You don't even have to look at it. You can still be sitting there and get rid of it. That's how
much we don't like it.
We've put it in a bag where it never happened. You can get up and be like, I don't know, I just sitting down for a while and
I felt something. I pressed a button.
I'm in a tiny private room and I'm still embarrassed about it.
I'm in here by myself and there's still shame.
Loud fan going. I still feel shame for some reason. Why is that?
We've taken it down to the most sanitary way possible. We put it into brand new water every time,
clean as a whistle,
and we still hate ourselves.
In a clean thing that we've cleaned
with harsh chemicals.
I'm not gross, okay? I know that's gross, but I'm putting it in a very clean place.
That's such a hysterical function.
It's fine. So,
still shame. I still feel gross about this.
Still feel not good about it. No one else can see this. I still feel gross about it. It's not great.
I'm sitting here on this comfortable seat, hating myself.
Not good.
For what I'm doing right now.
Why'd I eat that?
I knew what was going to happen.
I had to eat something, but still.
Here it is.
Bastard. So, Stephen is, he's feeling his own shit shame here, I guess. Stephen is, going well.
Yeah.
Daughter, wife, like I said, she's a little bit, kind of, overbearing with the daughter a little bit of, oh, no, I'll hold her, I'll do this. But she's a new mom and she's wanted a kid for a long time. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like, hey, I get it. She's a new mom and she's overprotective and new moms are like that.
For a minute. calm down after a little bit.
But for the first little while, it's very much like, this is and that's nature.
Yeah.
That's, you can't really help that, I don't think. I think that's just like I said.
Protecting?
That's nature's way of making it so you don't kill your kid because it's such a pain in the ass. Yeah. So your brain works in overdrive to take care of this thing rather than, what you would do if your animal instincts kicked in would be like, I'm going to fucking throw this thing out in the yard and never look for it again. Shit, it cries all the time. There's shit everywhere. It's not even ashamed of itself.
Doesn't even go be alone.
Yeah.
Does it right in my face.
Yeah. So we have a thing in our brains that makes us go, it's adorable and I love it and it, I want to take care of it.
Whatever it does is fine.
Yeah. It's whatever it does is fine. It's even cute. So even the in-laws are nice and they fucking better be because they live across the street. So if they're a pain in the ass, you're in deep shit.
Yeah.
They're nice. They get along. And, God, it's so close, dude. It's right there. Yeah. Every time he looks out the window, he's gonna if Thomas is outside mowing the lawn, there he is mowing the lawn. God. So that's also one of those things where they're going to judge your yard and they're going to go, so you're going to fix that thing out in the for Christ's
call
sake.
You for that.
Yeah, come on, man.
You're the handyman. You do it.
Jesus Christ. Also, they loved the granddaughter, obviously. The grandparents loved the granddaughter, so they helped out with Elizabeth as well.
That's nice.
It's a nice little thing there. That's nice to have family close when you have a young child like that. And, everybody's doing well, except after a minute, things kind of take a little bit of a turn because Stephen expected Kathleen to start to chill out about the baby after a while, and then it doesn't happen.
No.
After a few months, he's still not allowed to hold the baby.
It's on the job training.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to try it.
Well, he would take the baby, and she'd go, "You're holding her wrong. Give me the baby." And then he wasn't allowed to hold the baby for a while. It was one of those things like, okay, you're doing it wrong. You're not changing her diaper right. I'll do it. You're not doing this.
Aren't you exhausted, lady?
You don't put her down for nap at the right time. So it's like, Jesus Christ. So it starts to breed some tension, as you might imagine, with the couple here. And he's just a laid back kind of dude who wants to have fun with his daughter and be a nice dad. Like, he's not doing anything wrong. And even for her, in her mind, she's taking care of the baby. And, if Stephen's not going to hold the baby, right? Well, then Stephen doesn't get to hold the baby right now. That's the way it is for her. She's protecting the baby. So everybody thinks they're right. And I'm not going to say anybody's being even an asshole. Everybody's kind of just doing what their instincts are, I would say, in my mind. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt for now and just say,
after a few months, though,
that's the thing. Well, it gets a little bit on the weird side, where she's hovering all the time and she's just not trusting. It's just a little bit fucking weird. She would be like, one time they're at a family gathering. It's a, barbecue party, that sort of thing.
4th of July or some shit.
Some shit like that. And this is when Elizabeth is, I believe it's about 8 months old-ish, in the time when she's getting teeth.
Yeah.
And you start to give them food with chunks in it. And it's like the stage 3 or whatever, little pieces of spaghetti and all that shit. The Gerber, not with her because she's making it herself.
Right. But she's leaving the sweet potatoes a little chunky.
For her at this point. And this is the time when, and you remember this, everybody does this with kids. People are dicks. Basically, when a kid starts to get teeth, you go, let's put shit in their mouth that we know they won't like, and then they'll make a hilarious face, and we'll take pictures, and then we'll wonder why they have trust issues for their entire fucking life. Why is that ingrained in their brain not to trust anybody?
That was a jalapeno, you dumb shit.
Yeah, so this is...
Shouldn't have nibbled on that.
Isn't that... While the kid is given a thing from their only source of protection and food and shelter and all the life-giving things, they trust you implicitly. And you go, here's this, and then you and all your friends laugh at them and take pictures. And then you go, I wonder why my kid doesn't show. Yeah, that's why.
That kid
you fucked him up.
That kid could talk. Why did I eat that? Because a second ago you gave me a strawberry. It was fucking delicious.
And then now this.
And now this thing.
I trust you because guess what? Can't get food from anywhere else. Not like I can just order a pizza.
Right.
So, anyway, Stephen... Here, he says, okay, at a party, he gives Elizabeth a little tiny piece of sauerkraut.
Okay.
Because the kid's not going to like sauerkraut. and she's going to make a little face. It's not going to hurt her. It's sauerkraut. It's not like it's poison, or it's not like it's cayenne pepper or something.
Sure tastes like poison.
It's just she's going to go, and then they're going to go, oh, isn't that funny? Well, Kathleen lost her fucking mind.
Really?
Lost her mind. Everyone thought it was funny. Kathleen rips the baby out of his hand. How dare you? You don't feed a baby sauerkraut. What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you? You're fucking... I mean, screaming at him in the middle of the, in the middle of a family gathering about he's a terrible father. And everyone's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, everyone's like, okay.
Right.
And then, like, he would talk, he'd be like, what the and they were like, look, it's her first kid.
Right.
She's just overprotective. She's just, she'll, but then it didn't wear off. This was, I mean, the kid's teething already, for Christ's sake.
That's the point. 8 months old, this kid should be, she should be not giving a damn right now.
Or at least, a little bit more like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Ha ha, whatever. You don't have to laugh along, but you could not be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, oh, come on, leave the kid alone.
In 8 months, some occurrence should have happened by now where sauerkraut takes a real far back seat. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Like, I think my kid was 6 months old and he blasted his head open.
Yeah.
And if Lisa would have given him some sort of sauerkraut at 8 months old, the last thing I'm doing is being upset. At least he's not bleeding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole it's just stupid. It's and I think sauerkraut is kind of a symptom of a bigger illness.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe if they were happier, maybe the sauerkraut wouldn't have been such a big deal. It's one of those things, possibly. So also the in-laws living across the street starts to get a little troublesome for him because it's a lot. I mean, I lived across the street at one point from my in-laws with my ex-wife years and years and years ago, and they're really nice people who I really liked a lot, but to have people right across the street from you has nothing to do with who they are.
Right.
It's a matter of just you need privacy of some kind. You can't have your family on top of you like that.
You barely want people that you don't know to live across the street from you.
That's what I'm saying. Ideally, I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. If people started abandoning this neighborhood and there was like, I'd be like, awesome. This is great.
So long as squatters don't move.
Perfect.
As long as it stays empty, I'm good with it.
I'm happy
Put
with
them all
that.
up for sale.
Great. Move out. So, and these are nice people. It still doesn't matter. So they would come over here. I'm talking about my neighbors. And the Dorsets are nice people too. Anyway, the Dorsets, Thomas and Leslie, they come over all the time, and they start to come over more and more. And then they would start to come over unannounced.
Yeah.
They just come knock on the door. Then after a while, they stop knocking.
They just walk in?
Walk on in the house.
Nope.
How's it going, guys?
Fuck off.
Huh?
Get out.
Can you imagine?
My dick's out.
Hi.
I'm tugging. I'm in the middle of something real important.
Obviously, as you can see by the
You're a part of this now.
Before me. So, I mean, I don't know.
You can leave or don't. You're
cozy up.
now.
You can talk shit to me. I like... You talk dirty. I mean, that might help, I guess.
Tell me how much you hate sauerkraut.
Just tell me that. No, not you, Leslie. Thomas is who I want to tell. Yeah, that's better.
Jesus Christ.
A raspier voice. So he felt that was a little bit overboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, between that and Elizabeth so he's not even allowed to like hold his daughter. He can't do anything. It's a smothering environment for him. And he feels like it's all about, he feels like they're trying to squeeze him out. So he just decides, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
He leaves. Okay. He walks out. Elizabeth is 10 months old. He walks out and, leaves her.
Doesn't have no pants on.
Just fucking dick swinging.
Yeah.
Doesn't even care. Didn't even stop jerking it. So still stroking.
Walking down the street to the bus stop tugging.
That's how it
He's
works.
He's going to fit in on that bus.
You know it. That's what I'm saying on a public bus.
Yeah.
That stickiness, that isn't sewed on the floor, everybody. So October 15th, 2009 is when he leaves, okay? This is how not upset about it she is. That's October 15th. On October 26th, she files for divorce.
Right now.
So it's fucking immediately.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit
her
right
first
there.
Free day.
Done. Yeah, I just looked over her schedule. 26th I have open. I'm going to do that shit. And then after that, things got combative too between them, because now he's got to take the baby. on his own, and that she does not like that at all because she doesn't get to oversee and control. And he's
kind of cool for him, though.
He could give her a piece of sauerkraut. Right. He could hold her wrong. I mean, good God.
How about this?
Tragedy could ensue. Could ensue here. So they would fight in public now, where he'd be at work. He'd be like at the Honda dealership, with a customer, and she would blast in the door with the baby in her arms, screaming and yelling at him that he didn't put her down for a nap.
No.
And now she's tired.
Oh, no.
In the middle. She's busting in like she's Lorraine Bracco in Goodfellas. 2R Rossi. Janice Rossi, and nothing but a whore. She's like, Superintendent?
Yeah.
I just want to tell you have a whore living in your building. Rossi, 2R, Janice Rossi. Do you hear me? Get your own goddamn man.
He's
my husband.
She doesn't get to yell at him at home anymore, so now she's coming to his right where she knows where to find him.
Yeah, but either way, he's going to get the brunt of something.
The point is, you got to text that shit, lady. You don't get to.
Yeah,
this is not.
This is 2009.
Right, you don't get to do this anymore.
So yeah, she would do that, and all the employees were like, Jesus Christ, all his coworkers like, what's up with that shit? And he's just telling all his friends, I feel like all she wanted was a baby out of me, and as soon as that baby was done, she was done with me, had no more interest in me, and he was kind of sad about that, as one would be.
Yeah.
The main point is this is not an easy separation, and they're fighting over the daughter a lot. This is a thing here. Now, the problem is, at one point, Kathleen wants to move. Not just move to the next town. She wants to move to Florida.
And they're divorced now.
They're getting divorced.
They're in the process of
They're trying to agree to custody and shit like that.
And she wants to leave the state.
She wants to leave to go to Florida. And her parents want to go to Florida as well. Well, with Elizabeth.
No.
That's the thing. She wants to move with Elizabeth. Now, obviously, would rather that not happen.
Yeah.
So what they end up doing is, and this is crazy, and this is all through lawyers and the courts and everything. Like, they didn't just call each other and be like, come to an agreement or anything like that. They're not reasonable when it comes to shit like that.
No, they're not amicable.
They're not amicable. There's nothing amicable about this. No. So what they do is they come to an agreement that Kathleen, she'll be allowed to move to Florida with Elizabeth under these conditions. Okay. She has to find housing for Stephen in Florida as well, because Stephen's going to move there as well to be near Elizabeth. She's got to find housing for Stephen there. She would be responsible for providing that residence to him for at least 5 years, where he would only be responsible for partial rent. Okay, maximum payment of $600 a month rent from him, and she would have to make up the difference. That's how that works for 5 years.
Okay. Let's move to West Palm.
Okay, now, that's not it, though, too. There's more. Thomas, her father, who's got a business thing going down there, would have to help Stephen get a job in Florida as well. And Stephen would not be obligated to pay any child support until Thomas found him a job down there.
Strike one for the good guys.
Wow, this is crazy. So, that's funny. You can tell Jimmy's a divorced guy.
Who got railroaded.
A divorced guy who's not happy with his
my agreement is her agreement.
Yeah.
She is thrilled and I am pissed.
That's how.
Because she is not finding me a job nor paying
providing
my rent.
your housing or anything like that. So now,
God, that sounds great.
Let's say it. At the end of the contract here, there is one clause that's a little stipulation. If either of them, if Kathleen or Tom or Stephen dies, the other would get custody of Elizabeth, which is pretty standard anyway. But
sounds right.
It's in writing in here, so there's no it wouldn't be up for any debate. Which I don't know why it would be anyway.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
Dad, your house got real small. Wake up, Dad.
Yeah, hey,
Dad.
Jesus,
this
Christ.
place sucks. It's cold down here.
Fuck, man. It's not cool. She's living with me, damn it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care if there's a weird guy with a shovel that works here at night. It's fine. So She, Jesus Christ, they're in this divorce paperwork's a nightmare. In this divorce paperwork, oh my God, Jimmy, they're arguing about text messages.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I mean, two adult people having to go to court to have another adult person who went to law school fucking sit here and litigate their text messages.
Tell them to ignore each other.
Yeah, referee their bullshit and their text. Well, he said this, or she said, well, that was a rude text message. And it would she complained to the court that Stephen would refuse to speak with her about the child's eating and sleeping habits, and that his text didn't provide her with enough information about the care of their daughter. And she basically, and he would say, I don't need to text her every 5 minutes.
No.
She wants, literally, the baby just had this much to eat. The baby just shit. She wants to know when the baby went to the bathroom. I just put her down for a nap. She was asleep for 37 minutes. That's what Kathleen wants. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I'm from San Diego, babe.
Not going to do it. He's like, I'm the kid's father. She's fine.
I don't do this much paperwork at work.
That's the thing.
No.
And there's cars and financing involved. This is ridiculous.
There are VIN numbers and shit. We got to keep track of these things.
This is bullshit.
These are units.
There is one particular one where she said that, Jesus Christ, that, quote, this is her to the court. This was brought on because I was not nice to him on the phone after he informed me that that our daughter had just finally fallen asleep after pacing the crib at 7:50. And she also wrote in the court documents, at home she is in bed and asleep with no pacing by 7:25, the latest. Then she says, this shows how uncomfortable she is with Stephen.
No.
Or
you're a boring bitch.
Or kid's tired.
Dad's fun.
Or just not tired.
Yeah.
And he says in the court documents, the pretty simple response, he says, there was one occasion when Elizabeth fell asleep 10 minutes past her bedtime because she was not tired.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? That seems
we were having a blast.
Seems pretty fucking reasonable to me, I'm going to say right there. So
she was giggling.
August 16th, 2010. Mm-hmm. I remember the date and should sound semi-familiar. Yeah. August 18th was where we started. Stephen does not show up for work at the Honda dealership that morning. Okay, he doesn't show up. They call him and he doesn't answer. They text him, he doesn't return texts. Yeah. Shit's going to voicemail. They're like, that's weird.
Phone's off.
No, they're like, they're like, this is weird. He's not answering. It's not like Steven. Steven's the guy who's supposed to open the place up, and he's very reliable. Yeah. They also know what hell he's going through with this divorce and shit like that. So they're like, maybe Steven's having a hard time, but they know that Steven had his daughter the night before.
Yeah.
He was going to leave work to pick up his daughter, and he had his daughter that night.
Maybe booked an early flight to Cambodia.
You never know. Yeah, he dropped the daughter off. So they know that morning he's supposed to drop the daughter off with Kathleen before work, because that's his routine when he has the daughter on days he works, the nights before he works. So the Honda dealership calls Kathleen to say, hey, sorry to bother you, but just wondering, have you seen Steven this morning? He didn't show up for work, and we're just worried about him. And she said, oh yeah, he stopped by, dropped Elizabeth off, and he took off and waved bye to him, and that was that. I don't know. That's the last I saw of him. And so they're like, all right, I mean, that seems normal. So they don't know what to do. They're like, what do we do here? They think, okay, where could he possibly be? Then they remember one of the guys comes in and says, he was telling me that his mom took off and went and was going on a week vacation up to Maine. Oh. And he knows this because Steven was driving a different car than he normally drives. And the guy said, did you get rid of your car? And Steven said, no, I gave my mom my car, because Steven has a newer car.
Yeah.
And
a new Accord.
It's probably a nice new Accord or something like that. Gave his mom his car to drive to Maine because it's a newer car, more reliable. Didn't want his mom to be broken down on the side of the road driving to Maine.
The worst.
Nice kid, nice guy here. So gives his mom the car, so they know his mom's in Maine. So they said maybe, his history, likes to go away with his mom. Maybe he's up there.
Yep.
Maybe he went to Maine to just get away for a minute because of all this bullshit. It's not like him, but
maybe it slipped his mind to call us.
People go through weird shit when they're going through a divorce and they have problems, and he might have been just mumbling like, goddamn son of fucking, and just drove to Maine. Who knows? We
forgot it was Monday.
Forgot where the hell exactly. So they said, shit, let's try to get a hold of Evelyn. Maybe, I'm sure Evelyn will know where he is, and I'm sure he at least called her. So they called Evelyn. Do you know where your son is? And she said, not at all. No, I figured he'd be at work, So they went, oh shit, what do we do now? So now they start panicking. What if something happened to him? Where's Steven? So they call the cops.
Yeah.
Our guy's missing. They wait till noon because he is an adult. Yeah. So they wait till noon. Maybe he'll show up. He might have overslept. Who the fuck knows? He might have went and tied one on at 9 o'clock in the morning. We have no idea.
You don't know what you're capable of until you get a divorce.
That's the thing. Until you're in the middle of fighting over custody of children.
Yeah, a contentious divorce where it's like there's anger and animosity. When you're going through that shit, you know what crazy shit you're willing to do to clear your mind.
That's the thing. So they said maybe that's what it is, but that wasn't it. They just, where the hell is it? So they call the cops and they're thinking maybe he got in a car accident on the way to work. In Jersey, there's a lot of woods and shit. He could have went off the road into a ditch, hit a tree or something, could be unconscious laying in the woods somewhere for all they know. So they call the cops, and the cops, they're looking on the sides of roads for him, basically. The route where he would have gone from Kathleen's house to work and anywhere where he would have gone, they're looking for maybe his car disabled on the side of the road or something like that. So it's a mystery, but it's one of those things where they're like, it's a grown man. Yeah. Who the fuck knows? After a while, though, they look around. They don't find any crashes. There's no crashes reported. He's just disappeared into thin air. Okay. So at this point, it's a little weird.
We got to wait for him to call.
And based on his mom and based on his job saying not like him at all, he checks in. You know where Steven is. He doesn't just disappear like that. Okay. Based on all that, the detectives said, all right, they get detectives involved to try to find this guy. They start looking into his life. So they're like, okay, they look, he's in the middle of a divorce. That's a good place to start. Let's talk, let's see about Kathleen. So they look at Kathleen and they see, she's like an award-winning teacher. She makes her own baby food.
Right.
Not exactly someone who you would be like, when someone disappears, I bet she had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're looking at it. They're like, yeah, I know that they've had problems and shit like that, but criminally, like, we're not really looking at her as a criminal type of thing. So
how ruthless is that car business?
Yeah,
though? Maybe a dude over at Toyota.
That's what I'm saying.
Got real pissed.
Maybe he stole a sale from somebody.
Somebody over at Acura's like, you're selling those Accords a little too good. We're not moving these Acuras.
Even another Honda person was like, you know what? They were looking at a Pilot and you put them in an Accord. You cost me a commission, asshole. Thanks a lot. You're gonna knock them off. You never know. So they look into that. They check into what he does. Is he into anything? Is he a gambler? Yeah. So they look at his bank account. Maybe he's got some weird transactions, or maybe somebody kidnapped him and he's driving, or you check his bank. He might have charges going down the East Coast or something. Right. Maybe he's driving to Florida.
Is there one from Thailand?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You never know. Do we see Thai house of?
Is there some Thai bot in there?
House of, like Thai fucking young vagina. That's not a good. House of Thai butthole is when you see that on something.
That is hilarious. That isn't their currency is bot, right?
I think it is.
And people are going there to buy butt. That's hilarious.
Butt with bot. That's absolutely true. So they're looking at his stuff, and all they find is kind of normal shit. They find a transaction at a quick stop, convenience store. They find a transaction at a Chipotle near where his job is. Okay. So I mean, they're like, that's normal. Yeah. Oh, this is all from the day before. Very normal shit.
Kind of a gambler.
Yeah, he's you can tell, the guy who lives on the edge. Yeah. That's one thing about Steven. He lives on the edge. So they don't know what the fuck to do. They just know that he dropped the baby off and then disappeared into thin air. Yeah. So it's with
a belly full of Chipotle.
With a belly full of Chipotle from the night before. They talked to his mother. His mother said that she talked to him the night before. He was going to, him and Elizabeth were laying down to go to bed. Yeah. She talked to him on the phone. He said, quote, "We're in our jammies and we're watching cartoons. I'll talk to you tomorrow." Okay. That's the last she heard from him. And then Steven showed up to Kathleen's house, according to her, at about 7:45 a.m., drops Elizabeth off, drives off into the morning, and, disappears. Kathleen even says to the cops, shows them their phone. She's like, I've been texting them all day, going, where the hell are you? People are looking for you.
I'm annoying them too.
I was going to say, if there's nagging that needs to be done, she's going to be first in line to fucking do it. She's like, oh, you think I haven't been nagging him? Are you kidding me? I've texted him all day long. So, they looked into it. They said, did he have a girlfriend? Maybe Maybe he's banging some guy's wife and somebody got mad. I mean, you don't know. You don't know what people are doing. So he's selling Hondas. Maybe some woman
I
came
didn't even
in.
think about that. That's a terrible part of the job. Like, you got to just think people are dicks.
You never know. Well, I mean, you never know, especially they go, well, let's see. He's a Honda dealer. He meets a lot of people. Maybe some woman comes in, bought a thing. He takes her out for a little test drive.
You know what I mean?
Talking about.
Hey.
Oh, around the block, free parking, easy in, easy out. And next thing you know, her husband finds out about it, and this guy's in a fucking river. You never know. Yeah. So that's a thing they have to look into, but they couldn't find anything out. None of his friends, none of the people he worked with. He didn't have all he did. He went to work. He saw his daughter. He fought with his ex-wife. Those were his only. Those are the main characteristics of his life.
I know his life, man.
Yeah, he wasn't into drugs. They couldn't find anything like that. He's not a gambler. No. They couldn't find fucking anything. So on August 18th, 2010 is when the call comes in for the car fire.
Right.
And Long Branch there. And like we said, this fire, it's about 4:00 in the morning. It was hard to put out because it's clearly there was an accelerant used. Okay. And they say it seems to be based around the trunk. That's like where they found the dead body. It seems like there was gasoline poured directly onto the body. Like that's where it started.
Somebody knows bodies aren't flammable.
Yeah, they know you gotta put something
really
in there.
Get it going.
You gotta get it going, and otherwise
you
gotta twist it, Chet. It's kindling. You gotta simulate kindling. You gotta twist it, Chet. Twist it. So they find this. They're at this point they're worried that it might be Steven, and then they find out, well, what is the make of his mom's car? 2001 Nissan Altima.
Oh no!
They're like, that's not good.
No,
that's not good. And then the kicker is a completely melted fuchsia and bright lime green pair of rollerblades just stuck to the body, and they're like, it's got to be Steven. No,
they're welded.
No, they do find through dental records that is Steven there.
Damn it.
In the car there. So that's upsetting. We'll say he's missing for 8 days.
Yeah.
And then
Mom just got a new Honda.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's getting that car back.
The Altima's completely melted off and everything like that. Now they're like, okay, he's found in a car trunk in New Jersey in a burned out car.
Gosh.
Now it opens up a whole other thing. Like, who the fuck is going to do this? Because this seems like professional.
Yeah.
This is like,
who'd he fuck with? Yeah.
Is he fucking with the mob now?
Yeah.
Are people putting him in trunks? And this is some mob shit here.
The mob doesn't exist.
No. So they even went so far as to look into his competitive speed skating background.
Really?
Dead serious, to make sure there wasn't like some hot Tanya Harding in his past that's seeking revenge against him.
Still angry.
That's how clueless and like they have no idea what to do with this case. That's fucking crazy. So finally they go, look, the only place we have to turn, he has no life. Unless somebody at work or his daughter killed him, we don't know what he's doing. The only person we have to look at is Kathleen. That's it. So we have to look at
the only person that's mad at him.
Yeah, that's it. This is literally the only lead we have. So they talk to his divorce lawyer, and his divorce lawyer says, oh boy, there was a slew of shit.
Yeah.
And fills him in on all the text message things and tells him all about that, and the cops are like, holy shit. Wow. Lawyer also says that lately Steven has changed his tune toward Kathleen and has started sticking up for himself and has started having a backbone based on what the lawyer was trying to pump him up and say, you don't have to do that. You can tell her no. You can, whatever. You
have rights, man.
You have rights too as a parent and, blah, blah, blah. So they said he was that, and Kathleen wasn't happy about that. She wanted him to just roll over because that was the kind of guy he was. He was a guy described as kind of one of those, go along, get along kind of guys. Just like, I'm not going to make any waves.
Very San Diego.
So, they find a particular audio recording that he made, the police. He has a tape recorder or a digital audio recorder. And they find a recording that he made. Is the last recording on there. And it says, this is about Kathleen. It says, quote, I'm very tired of Katie calling me and questioning every move I make. I'm able to take care of our child just as well as she can. So that's the last entry that he makes in his audio thing. So they're like, this is his main source of frustration. This isn't kind of like this abstract thing. This is his every day, what he's dealing with. So that helped them a little bit. They said the tone of his voice and everything, they go, we need to take another look at Kathleen. We really do. We need to check him out. Then they find the whole thing about the Florida thing and the divorce, and they're like, now there's a financial motivation to this whole thing. Now, and
that last part where if somebody's dead, the other one gets to keep that baby.
There's that, and then there's also just the financial aspect of it, and then dragging her parents into this whole thing also. So they go, we need to investigate Kathleen Dorsett. While we're at it, too, let's throw Thomas and Evelyn, or Leslie, I'm sorry, Evelyn, Stephen's mother.
Right. She's in Maine, James.
She's in Maine. Let's throw Thomas and Leslie into this scenario, and I want to check everybody out. What they find is a money laundering scheme that the three of them are involved in.
All of them.
That wasn't expected. Yeah, they were like, that's unexpected. The school board member and the nice refrigeration guy and the kindergarten teacher.
Award-winning.
$96,000 in cash deposits they structured to try to hide from bank regulators. I don't know why or how. It's a tax thing, I'm sure.
It's not that much money.
It isn't, but that's the tip. It's something where they find they'll do some illegal shit.
That's my point, though. Like, if you're doing, if you're doing anything worse than that, why would you launder that and get caught for that small amount of money?
That's what I mean.
For something, something bigger.
A lot of money, but there might be more there that they've. That's what they're looking at. So then they start talking to Kathleen's neighbors. They talk to Kathleen's neighbors who, the morning of Stephen's disappearance, her next door neighbor heard screaming in their yard. Okay. She opened her window and said, hey, what's going on? They're screaming. It's like 7:45 in the morning. Yeah. And Kathleen told her to, quote, shut the fuck up and close your window. Which is just New Jersey for... Would you like some coffee later on this morning?
That's
morning.
That's New Jersey for hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all. So then Kathleen later on went and said, hey, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but my dog was having a seizure in my driveway.
Yeah.
So Kathleen was like in the driveway, leaned over. She said her dog and she's like, the dog's having a seizure and the dog's fucking howling and I'm trying to, work with the dog and then you're yelling out the window and I just got overwhelmed. And then the baby's inside. It's a lot going on. I'm sorry about that.
I got shitty diapers to wash.
Lots of them. They're piling up. They're piling up high. So then the police go to talk to Kathleen, and they said, just first of all, she's very friendly. Just come on in, everybody. Hi, y'all.
Listen,
come on in.
Don't spit on your own carpet.
That's right. She also said, they said, before we get any further, the cops tell her, do you mind if we do like a formal search of your property? We'll get the crime scene unit in here. We'll go over it just because, it's an open, we got to make sure Stephen's not like, bleeding in your basement or, you got him like chained up in your shed or something as a, ha. And she's like, oh yeah, of course.
Sure.
Of course you can search my property. Come on in. While they're waiting for the crime scene unit to show up, detectives are sitting at the kitchen table. She's offering snacks and drinks.
What you do.
Being a good hostess and just saying, just being a good host of you're over at my house. What would you, talking. They're all, talking about new restaurants that are in town. Shit that you would talk about very casual with people who aren't investigating a murder normally. So, you know what I'm saying? Little things like that. Then she starts talking about gardening even. Yeah. She's so casual. She's like, yeah, I've been gardening this week.
Growing my own peas.
Now, meanwhile, her, father of her daughter is missing and presumed murdered. She's gardening and whatever, but that's fine. I mean, who knows? Maybe she's celebratorily gardening.
Or grieving gardening.
Or grieving gardening. Maybe that makes her calm. So
it's like a Zen garden, James.
That's exactly what it is. She's raking it over and over and over again. She's talking about gardening. She said, she put in some new mulch to try to spruce up the yard. And the cop says, oh, yeah, that's right. And when they walk outside, the cop notices, the detective notices the mulch in the flower bed there. And he notices there's a lot of weeds in the mulch, which is weird because if you're going to garden and you're going to do it correctly, like she seems to be pretty studious, based on everything in its place in her house and shit like that. When you would mulch, you would weed first.
Pull those out.
You pull everything out because you're going to have new mulch and with weeds coming through.
You're just going to fertilize those.
That's
exactly.
Exactly.
Take all the water of your good plants.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. So he goes, that's a weird thing. And, just based on that, crime scene unit gets there. He tells the one guy, just do me a favor, crime crime scene guy here. He goes, I think he probably called him by his name.
Whatever it was.
But, Frank.
Frank the crime scene guy.
So he said, do me a favor, throw a glove on, just feel around under that mulch. Just go in and just dig around.
Calls them all Grissom.
Yeah. Just
Hey, Grissom, come here.
Grissom. Hey,
my name's Frank. Whatever, Grissom.
Lady Grissom, come here a minute.
Hey, bitch, Grissom.
Let's go. Grissom with tits. Come here a minute, honey. It's Jersey. I gave away too much respect. Officer Lady Grissom is way too much respect. Hey, Titty Grissom, get over here. Hey, Grissom with an ass. Hey, Gilf, that's Grissom I want to fuck.
God damn it.
So he says, go ahead and do that. So the guy goes, all right, fine. He digs in. He's got a white, glove on, those plastic
Latex,
gloves. Yep. And he comes out with blood all over his hand, which that's either really suspicious or the earth is bleeding. Yeah. Literally, listen to the climate alarmists. Listen to them. The earth is bleeding, people. If you want people to believe in climate change, stick your hand in the ground and come up with blood. Oh, my God.
Everything we're doing is wrong.
The earth is bleeding.
We stop now.
Fuck.
Today we walk. No more cars.
Everybody stop. Right where you are. The fucking earth is literally bleeding. This is a problem. Yeah. It has no blood. I don't know how this happened. So they're like, okay, this is an issue. They bring in cadaver dogs who indicate that it is human blood.
Oh, no.
So enough human blood to stain a glove.
That's a lot of blood.
Is a problem.
Yeah.
So they say, let's bring Kathleen in for a chat downtown here. They bring her in. Now, everybody, here's a tip for you if you're planning on murdering or committing any kind of crimes. Yeah. Little tip for you. Here's what they do. They sit her down and they go, we'd like to talk to you about the disappearance of your husband. And she says, no, I want an attorney. And they go, okay, so you can leave, I guess, because sorry. And then she goes home because she said, no, I want to talk to an attorney, not I can explain my way out of this. So
if you want to get away with it, or at least not
for a few more days,
right, for a minute, because you're going to get caught
eventually.
There's
but
too much stuff now.
You're not going to do it yourself.
Right.
You're not going to give them the case on your own because you're a moron. So August 23rd, 2010, they decide, we have enough to arrest Kathleen, whatever. They've already arrested her parents and her on the money laundering charge as well, so they can kind of pull them in when they want. August 23rd, they arrest Kathleen at home. Her parents are at her house as well. They take the cuffs out. They begin to cuff Kathleen. As they do that, her father, Thomas, takes his watch off and his wallet out of his pocket and hands him to his wife. To Leslie. Yeah. And the cop sees that and goes, interesting. Yeah. Noted, because you only do that on 2 occasions. If you're about to be taken for a ride by a mob associate who you know is upset with you. Right. Or if you're about to go to jail.
Or you're getting in the pool.
There's
no pool right here.
There's no pool.
2 options.
2 options. He hands the wallet, so the cop goes, not here for you, but interesting. Yeah. Thanks for that. Now we know where to look a little further.
We'll be back to talk to you.
We'll look a little at Thomas a little more, right? That was fucked up, right? Did everybody see that?
That was weird. Everybody saw it was weird.
All right.
Bitch Grissom. Weird, right?
Bitch, hey, you. Yeah, move your tits aside and answer my fucking question for a minute. Jesus Christ. So Kathleen isn't admitting it, but she won't deny it either. She's just saying, I'm not saying shit. Yeah. But they hold her on a $3 million bond.
Oh, shit.
So either way, she ain't going to say shit. She's going to sit there and not say shit because $3 million's high. That's $300,000 cash.
More than 96K.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's exactly right. So his mother, during all of this, Stephen Moore's mother, Evelyn, ends up being awarded temporary custody of Elizabeth.
Hell yeah.
While they sort all this shit out.
Seems like the right person.
Seems fair. Yeah. She seems nice. Now, Jesus Christ. So Kathleen gets in jail. First thing she does, she's really pissed that Evelyn is now in charge of Elizabeth.
Evelyn's pissed too, by the way.
I would say. She's probably more.
I was just on vacation!
I'm going to go out on a limb and say more mad. Yeah. Probably.
We got a fucking toddler.
Well, Evelyn doesn't do what Kathleen does. Kathleen gets into jail and finds a fellow inmate and tries to get this inmate to hire a hitman to kill Evelyn.
Oh, no.
And actually finds someone to do this, and Kathleen involves her own mother, Leslie, by talking to her over the jail phone, mind you, which, I mean, it says in the beginning, these calls are recorded, stupid, and then you go, hey, let's talk about a murder. Fucking dummy.
It says that shit right to you, doesn't it?
Oh, it says
when you pick up
calls are monitored and recorded.
This will cost
you
whatever
fucking
money.
dummy. That's state by state. I feel like in Jersey, they definitely say you fucking dummy. So, right? Yeah.
You fucking nitwit.
You fucking dummy. So Kathleen tells her mother that she wants the death because they're going to kill
Evelyn?
Leslie or Evelyn.
Yeah.
Tells Leslie, her mother, that she make it look natural. Tell the hitman to make it, quote, look like something diabetic because she's diabetic. So make it look natural.
Sounds like she doesn't know much about diabetes.
Yeah, so she contacted her mother in the jail phone and told her mother to meet this hitman and give him $1,000 deposit.
Yeah.
Now, right away, here's the thing. If someone is willing to kill your spouse or an old lady or anything, basically anybody, if they're willing to kill anybody and it's for $1,000 down, that's a cop.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not a real hitman. Real hitmen charge fucking money.
If it's affordable for you and you have a 9 to 5, it's a cop.
If you go, oh, that's not bad. That's not what you should say when you hear a hitman quote. That's not bad at all.
If you can say the phrase, I think I've got that.
I expected it to be worse. If I'm going to be, oh, wow. I think I might be able to swing that. Then you can't, that's not a real hitman. That's a cop.
If it's cheaper than going to Cambodia and fucking random weird things, it's a cop.
It's a fucking cop. I hate to say it. Turns out not only it was a cop.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad. Turns out the inmate and the hitman, both cops.
Yes.
So not smart. Just totally setting her up.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So back to the day she's arrested before she procures a hitman and all this. God, this is so
For
stupid.
not that bad money.
It's not that bad. It's reasonable. I expect that. It's reasonable. Either your hitman's a crackhead or a cop. One of the two.
In
Either
both
way,
ways, you're getting caught.
Either way, bad hitman.
Right.
Not who you're looking for.
It's a guy that's not going to finish the job without your name involved.
Yeah, killing your ex-spouse, you'll need a second mortgage for that, is what we're getting. You're going to have to refinance your house to kill your spouse. That's just the way it works. You're not going to get away with that off of savings. This is not going to happen. So
you better be cash liquid.
It's super liquid.
You don't want that paper trail leading back to you
saving up
with a cashier's check signed from an escrow company.
From an
fucking
escrow
idiot.
company over to the hitman. But you know what? It's kind of smarter than what she did, which was talk to a cop and then set up a hit on a jail phone.
It's the same thing.
Fucking idiot. So the day after she's arrested, Thomas goes to talk to his attorney that morning. Like the night she's arrested, Thomas calls his attorney and says, my daughter just got arrested and I need to talk to you and they might be coming after me and blah, blah, blah. So you mind if I come talk to you? Guy said first thing in the morning, be there. So Thomas, his lawyer, shows up and Thomas is already in the parking lot of the law firm.
Can't wait to chat.
He's in his truck there and everything waiting. Lawyer gets out, goes over to the truck, looks in the window. Thomas is sleeping. Hey, probably had a rough night. Probably hasn't slept much. He's got a lot on his mind. Knocks on the window, doesn't wake up. Knocks on the window. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. Then the lawyer notices a clear plastic tube in his mouth, in Thomas's mouth, and sees it is connected to a tank. Thomas is trying to commit suicide by inhaling Freon directly from a tank.
Good Christ.
Which, if you've ever, Freon, if you don't know what that is the shit that makes your air conditioning cold, and it is a horrible chemical that you don't want in your body.
No.
That said, when I was a child, when I was 13, my friend, I won't give his name because he's actually an upstanding citizen now.
Today he is?
Oh yeah, I don't know how because he's the biggest
Freon?
fuck up. He's like weird and Christian-y now though. One day he asked my cousin, he goes, if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here. And my cousin's like, I'm all right. My cousin is a lot like me. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm fine, motherfucker. Like, I don't need to talk about shit. And he goes, like about Jesus or whatever. And he goes, what? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm never going to want to talk to you about Jesus. I'll tell you that right fucking now. No. Like, right up front. If I needed to talk about Jesus, which I don't, you wouldn't be the guy I would go to for it, because you're a fucking idiot, first of all. Second of all, no.
Right.
So, this... Jesus Christ.
This fucking Jesus guy now.
Anyway, his brother, it was like his, I don't know, a party. We were in his basement sleeping over, like 13.
Yeah.
And his brother comes downstairs. His brother was one of these crazy older brothers who's like, one of those lunatic that you're all kind of afraid of.
He's the jackass guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knew one of those guys. Some people knew too.
Oh, he's a loon, this
Johnny
guy.
Knoxville seemed to fucking...
Oh, God.
He was a magnet for him.
His brother was like really tough and crazy and like 5 years older than us. So, you know what I mean? We were like, whoa, he's cool. So he came downstairs and he goes, who's the craziest motherfucker here? So obviously...
And everybody was like, you are, bro.
Yeah, out of you guys. So everyone, people are... I'm just like, I'm going to see where this goes. I'm not going to be like, I am. I'm not that guy. It's like, yeah, I'll fucking do it first. I'm like, let's see how this works with you.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works 3-4 times, and then we'll figure it out. So somebody says, oh, yeah, whatever. And he goes, come over here. And he hooks up a tube to a Freon tank because his dad was a refrigeration guy and he had a bunch of Freon tanks in the basement.
Oh, boy.
So starts giving 13-year-old kids hits off this Freon tank, which basically makes your voice go really deep and everything goes weird and you kind of fall over and you feel fucked up.
Because it strangles your fucking brain.
Fucking killing brain cells like crazy.
It's cutting off oxygen.
It's like a whippet for someone really stupid, basically. So anyway, this guy, my friend, later on, he ended up, this was like a thing he did all the time, and he ended up like passing out and splitting his head open on a fucking doorknob and all this shit. And then later on too, he took, not on the Freon, but this is the same guy who like took cops on like a 2-county chase with like 4 fucking blown out tires and riding on rims with sparks flying out.
Tell me about Jesus.
With like a fucking 0.35 blood alcohol level and fucking weapons and shit. And then he's like, yeah, if you ever want to talk about Jesus and... So yeah, he might need Jesus, that guy. So it's probably better.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Freon's nasty shit. So the lawyer breaks the window, pulls Thomas out, calls 911. Thomas is like, "Gee, thanks."
He survives.
He survives.
Oh, boy.
Unfortunately for him, he's like, gee, great.
Thanks, Dick.
Thanks, Dick. Obviously.
The wallet and watch were on the dash.
Didn't you see? That's the international sign for let me die. Let me die. My wallet's on this my watch is right there. So anyway, that same day that this is going on, which the police are made aware of this, are like, that's interesting that Thomas tried to kill himself. That same day, the cops get a call from a restaurant owner who's a friend of Thomas's. And he says, the guy goes, I just have to call you guys. It's really weird. I'm friends with this Thomas Dorset guy. You might know him. I've been seeing a lot on the news. And he calls me yesterday and he asks me a really weird favor. He said, do you mind... Thomas asked the guy, Thomas said, do you mind if I come over to your restaurant and you have all those security cameras all around it? Well, all the ones facing your back dumpster.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I destroy those and take all the footage and also destroy that? And I'll replace all of your security cameras with brand new ones and everything like that? The guy was like, that's a little odd, considering all the murdery shit he's been seeing on TV lately with his daughter being arrested. He goes, why would you want to do that? Which I wouldn't even ask, but he has. And Thomas said, well, it's the refrigeration business. They're looking into me for this money laundering thing, and I threw out a few chemicals that I'm not supposed to throw out in that dumpster, and now they're really on to me. So I feel like if they find that out, they're really going to nail me for a big fine and all this shit. And the guy went, I don't think so. You know what? No, I like my security cameras.
Cameras are fine.
I don't want to tamper with evidence and shit like that. And instead, he calls the police and tells them about that. And so the police come to confiscate it, and they see the footage, and it is fucking amazing.
It's damning.
Well, I would say first thing they see is Thomas driving Steven's mother's 2001 Nissan Altima.
Oh, no.
Pulling up in front of the dumpster.
Were there burn marks on it?
Not yet. No, it was perfectly fine at this point. And then right behind him is Kathleen driving her own car.
Oh, boy.
Right following him. They leave the restaurant parking lot because there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
They then see later on Thomas Thomas come back into the parking lot by the dumpster with his van and start emptying a bunch of shit into a dumpster.
Okay.
We're talking Rubbermaid plastic containers, bleach bottles, shit like that. And finally, what police deem by medical examination and everything else to be the murder weapon, a 2x4.
No.
A fucking 2x4.
They fucking hacksaw Jim Duggan him?
He got hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, my God.
Which was the first thing police thought.
Yeah.
They're like, APB for hacksaw Jim Duggan. We've been waiting for this day. We knew it would happen someday. First 2x4 murder, he knew he was going down. He couldn't fucking help himself.
That has got to be the worst way to die.
And then they said also that neighborhood, in addition, that morning to the yelling and the shut the fuck up and the dog and everything like that, also a loud ho was heard. Which then everyone on the street repeated back. Oh! And then that's how they knew it was hacksaw. No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
That's a terrible way to go.
Yeah, beaten with a 2x4.
Beaten to death with, not just beaten with one, James.
Yeah.
To death.
Oh, to straight death.
Unreal.
There's no coming back from that. So what ends up happening is the next day, August 24th, this is the day of Thomas's suicide attempt, and happens to be the day the police find the security footage. They go ahead and arrest Thomas while he's recovering in the hospital from a suicide attempt. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and arrest Leslie, since she's trying to fucking hire hitmen to kill people.
May as well.
Whole family. Let's bring them all in here. So when they arrest Leslie, by the way, they find in her possession a photo of Evelyn, Stephen's mother, with her stats on the back saying, make it look diabetic. And $1,000 in an envelope. So
that's a problem.
That's a problem. Now, the lawyer's trying to get Leslie out of it, going, she's just a innocent woman, and the prosecutor said, quote, she's knee deep, Judge.
She really is.
In shit and everything else. Also said, by the way, not only do we have her on this, she did this while out on bail on money laundering charges. If you take out who she is, sounds like a mob figure that we've busted for money laundering.
Does.
She made bail and got out, and she fucking whacked the guy that got her in. That's what it sounds like.
She's dangerous.
She's being held for fucking murder for hire. After wow, it's crazy. So as this progresses, August 26th, they arrest another man. Not related to them. No. Very much not related to them if you saw him. The Dorsets are very, very white. Yeah. They arrest a man who is not at all white. Yeah. A man named Anthony Morris. And I say that because they're not related. He's not in the family. He's like a 30-year-old black guy. Oh. Which is... just Thomas is like a 65-year-old white guy. Yeah. When you see these two together, you go, they don't hang out and watch football. Like, you can tell. Like, Anthony Morris is like a real stocky. He looks like an offensive lineman. Yeah. And he just doesn't look like him and Thomas just hang out socially.
They're not social pals.
It doesn't look like it anyway. I mean, it could be. Who knows?
They might run into each other at the gym, playing pickleball together or something.
No, I don't think Thomas is going to the gym. Anthony Morris is accused of setting the car on fire. The 2001 Altima.
He's the arsonist.
Yes, he is. Well, that's what they're charging him with. Arson for hire and desecration of human remains. He will be in jail on $500,000 bail, and he ends up admitting that he knew the body was in the trunk when he did it, when he killed him, and everything like that. He comes in to testify against them in the preliminary hearings. They must have shit a brick when they saw him walking in. He's sitting up on the pictures of him, like pointing them out. Those motherfuckers. Yep, that one, her too. Exactly. Can I leave now? Yeah. Fuck that shit. I didn't even know that guy. He is not interested in this shit at all. They all end up pleading guilty. Yeah. They have no other recourse. Sure. They literally have a guy going, they hired me to drive here and do that, and there's the body. You're fucked. Yeah. So at the plea hearing, she said that she's guilty. She said she's pleading guilty of her own free will and all that sort of shit. This is important because later she'll try to take that back. So she's they're talking about sentencing exposure for everybody and everything like that. She reads her statement in court saying what she did, so we can find out exactly what happened here. Finally, she said, "Quote: On August 16th, 2010, at approximately 7:30 a.m., Stephen came to my residence for a scheduled drop-off of our infant daughter." She's very specific. She's a teacher. Yeah. Approximately 30 minutes prior to Stephen's arrival, he texted me that he was on his way. That was nice of him. When he arrived, I told Moore to get his tools in the backyard of the driveway. Said, "Oh, your shit's back there." Yeah. You know how that
Fuck
goes.
out of here.
Pick your shit up.
Get it out of here. I'll throw it away.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I've got shit to do.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, that's holding you up in life.
Right.
My box is shit.
Right.
You were ready to fucking move on. You're gonna start your fucking business. You're gonna get remarried.
Right.
Everything's gonna be great. If my one box of shit is in your back fucking yard.
And I need to come get it right, goddamn. I'll pick it up when I get the kids.
If it isn't gone by tomorrow, it's going to fuck you. How's that? Oh, sorry.
You
boy.
fucking assholes. Just be cordial.
Everybody.
Jesus,
and
it's
we're not saying this for women.
No.
Guys, don't be dicks either. This could go both
jerks.
ways.
You do this shit too.
This goes both ways.
And you make it worse.
Yeah. She then said, when he arrived, I told him to get his tools. After Stephen was convinced to retrieve his tools, I took my daughter into the house, knowing all the time my father, Thomas, was back there waiting to kill him.
Oh, no.
As I was changing my daughter's diaper, I heard screaming coming from the driveway. By the time I secured my child and ran outside, Moore was in the driveway, lying in the driveway.
Lifeless already?
Lying there. I sat down next to him in order to shield him from view of my next door neighbor who was yelling out her window asking me what was wrong. I repeated several times that everything was all right and she should shut the window. She did leave out shut the fuck up, but whatever. That's fine. After my conversation with my neighbor concluded, that's quite the conversation. It was a good one. I feel like we found some common ground. I assisted my father with lifting Stephen's body into the trunk of my ex-mother-in-law's vehicle, which right there just sounds so bad.
It's so cold.
I assisted my father.
What she had to look at
to
help him do that.
She was like, yeah, fuck this guy.
A man was beaten with the 2x4 to death.
And a nice guy.
Right.
Who is kind of objectively nice.
Right.
Even she couldn't say he's not nice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He never punched you.
No.
He wasn't out cheating on you.
She just didn't want anything to do with him, which is fine. But everyone, even
different from each other.
She would know. She would say.
She had to look at that.
Then she says, my father drove off with the car, and shortly thereafter, he telephoned me to meet him at a restaurant in Long Branch. I met him there and then followed him to another location in Long Branch where the vehicle with Moore's dead body, and it was abandoned. I then drove to my father's home. After we arrived at my residence, I cleaned up the area where Moore was killed, and my father drove away with the cleaned up items. I now know that he disposed of everything in the dumpster. And then they show more footage from the dumpster, and it is like, it's framed so center of him dumping shit in the dumpster. It's so perfectly symmetrical. It's like a fucking Wes Anderson movie. It's perfectly symmetrical that if you were making a movie and that was like the big court scene of, we have the proof, when you were shooting the surveillance footage, you would say it's too clean. It's
too perfect.
It's too framed. Like, so no one would be that framed. And so it has to be like kind of off to the side. Like, you can see it over here.
Put that garbage can askew.
Yeah, this shit is like perfect. Like, just skew the camera, drop, give it a tilt.
See, in the video footage, though, they see Thomas behind the wheel of that car.
At first.
That means there is a fucking body in the trunk then.
Oh, yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, they were seeing what was up then. Yeah, that was a body in the trunk, and she was following him, I assumed, to make sure he didn't get pulled over, or whatever that is. So, she said that, she knew her father was back there and all that sort of thing. She also then has to talk about giving her mother $1,000 deposit to kill the Jesus Christ, for
our discount murder.
So they all pleaded guilty to the charges here, and she and her mother also entered guilty pleas to conspiring to kill Evelyn as well, to keep her from testifying against her, and also to stop her from getting custody of the daughter. She pleads guilty to two. It's so weird. 2 counts of murder. I don't know how it's 2 with 1, and because it's also 8 counts of conspiracy to desecrate human remains, 14 counts of attempted murder. I don't know how that works.
Is that how many times he was hit with that wood?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how they would discern 14 blows from a burned up body.
And is it like murder, like you beating him to death, and then because the burning would murder him too?
I don't know how they're working. Maybe that's how they're doing it twice.
Jesus.
So The state agrees to recommend a sentence of 30 years in prison and 30 years of parole ineligibility.
Yeah.
So that means that she would not be able to get out of jail for 30 years at all. And also consecutive terms on the other one. There's a whole thing here. Mm-hmm. No early release is part of this, though. And the state agrees to dismiss some of the smaller charges. So August 8th, 2013 is sentencing. It's so sad. There's a picture, not sad, but it's the three of them sitting at a table together. Mother, father, daughter. And it's just like
all waiting for their sentencing.
Fuck, man. Yeah, you're like, this is some sorry fucking shit. The prosecutor said called the Dorsets cold-blooded killers. Evelyn Moore said they were killers that she, quote, to whom she has nothing to say. Classy lady. Yeah. She did write to the court saying that Elizabeth is a happy child, but will never know her mother and father, which is very sad. Kathleen tried to apologize in court. She said, I'm so deeply sorry for all the pain I've caused to Stephen's family and the lives I've destroyed. Now, the judge had something else to say to her, though.
Okay.
And this is fucking great. I love when the judge lays down the law here. Yeah. This is a real you, ma'am, here. Quote, this is a narcissistic individual. Her crocodile tears get turned on and off seemingly at will. This is really an American family tragedy on so many levels, and the responsibility for it falls mainly on this defendant's feet. Kathleen Dorset states that she's sorry and she never meant for any of this to happen. I don't believe that. It's not been less than 2 or 3 times I've seen her in my courtroom, including today, where the crocodile tears get turned on and off almost on cue. As the prosecutor was speaking and saying certain things, you're looking at me shaking your head, mouthing, that's not true, as if trying to manipulate this court.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pissed. Mr. Dorset may have swung the murder weapon, but through her manipulation, Kathleen put the idea and the weapon in his hands. Mm-hmm. You, ma'am, may fuck off. That's a fuck off right there. He built up to it here. She is sentenced, to 58 years in prison.
Yikes.
58 years, ineligible for parole for 47 years.
Holy shit.
He fucking hated her.
Yeah.
That judge hated her.
You bitch.
Wow. 58 years, 47 till parole.
That's a man that's been divorced.
Damn. That's he just got a bad vibe off of her. You're a cold lady.
Yeah.
She is going to be fucking 80.
Yeah.
Jesus. And her almost 90 if she gets out of prison here.
She's dying there.
Thomas Dorset is sentenced to 45 years. He's like a 63-year-old man.
It's over.
45 years, including another 15, and then another 15 years for the arson for hire. 30 years until parole for him.
It's over.
It's over for him. That's a life sentence here for him. And Kathleen or Leslie gets a lesser sentence. I think she gets 7 years total. They basically take all
She's out.
We'll talk about that in a second here. Kathleen appeals the murder, appeals all of this, saying that she's so full of shit just with the whole thing. First, she's saying she didn't understand her plea offer, and they're like, no, you understood. You're an educated person.
You signed.
You went to college.
Right.
It's not like she dropped out in the 4th grade and were like, my lawyers told me that was a good thing to do.
Right.
She went to college. She's educated. She read the document. She knows what she said. Yeah. She's not like, I didn't know what I said.
Your lawyer explained this shit to you.
Yeah, and you understood it because you're smart.
Right.
And now a few years later, though, in 2016, when her appeals are failing, Thomas has a new story. Oh. He comes to the court saying, I have a new story. He puts it in documents and everything. He says that on that day, Stephen Moore came to the rear of his daughter's home and to drop off his granddaughter. He said that they got into an argument, and at that point, they began to fight. And he said once they were fighting, they fell over, and that Stephen, quote, this isn't a court document, fell on a pile of metal junk.
Yeah.
And then Dorset landed
over again.
A ton.
Who just kept getting up.
And I kept falling. I have vertigo, and I'm very off balance a lot, so I kept falling.
My daughter didn't make all those bananas this morning.
Slipping all
Banana
over.
Peels
everywhere. So he said that Moore hit his head, and he said, I panicked and tried to cover up the results of the fight.
Yeah.
And he said that Kathleen was not involved in any of this whatsoever. It was all him. And the judge said, you out of your fucking mine. Get out of my courtroom, you stupid asshole.
There's video footage of her behind you.
She's behind
you,
you dummy. She knows what's up.
With a body in the trunk.
And she has no, fuck off. Yeah, get out of here. Eat dicks. So they said no. She was appealing all the way up until 2018 was her last appeal to withdraw her plea agreement.
Wow.
So she is still fighting, and you know what? She's got a shitload of time to fight because she's going to be in prison for a while.
Yeah.
She's got 47 years to figure it out. They did cover the story on Dateline.
Yeah.
I saw the episode on Dateline. There's a couple things on there they didn't have on other shit. So good job, Dateline.
Yeah.
Got out of that.
I'm sure it was hilarious.
It was so funny. I got to tell you, if you guys are looking for a comic version of this story, Dateline's the way to go.
How many times did they talk about Thai butt?
It was very few times. No trim pucker brushes, nothing. So it was now currently Anthony Morris is out of jail.
Oh?
Yeah, the desecrator.
Yeah.
He got out of jail, and Leslie also out of jail.
Oh.
Yeah, she did her time and she's out. Thomas and Kathleen, though, they ain't fucking getting out for a while.
Are Anthony and Leslie a thing?
I believe they're now together. They're having a wonderful life. Leslie said, I never knew I would like a guy 30 years younger than me. And he said, that's some nice old ass right there. And everybody's happy.
This is better than going to Thailand.
Everybody's happy except for Evelyn, Elizabeth, Stephen, and Thomas probably, and Kathleen.
That little girl's like 9 now, huh?
Yeah, she's older than that.
10?
She's 11.
Oh my God,
she's 11. That poor kid.
thing.
Poor little kids. Yeah, she's in probably the 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah.
Nobody show her this.
No.
But yeah, it sucks, man. It's a
poor thing.
It's brutal. Yeah, the whole thing's brutal. I mean, this looked like a one of those stories where it looks like it's going to be this nice story of this nice family, and then it just turns out all fucking wrong. And it's sad shit. So that is Ocean Township, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And the story of how shit can go wrong very easily and quickly. And
just get along with your
get along, or just fucking ignore it.
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
Who gives a shit?
It's going to be over soon. You won't have to deal with it. Just calm down.
You're
don't
about
kill
to have
each other.
So many smiles.
Just don't kill each other.
Yeah.
That's all we ask of you, of everybody. Everybody stop killing each other, okay? Thanks. From Small Town Murder. That's our public service announcement. Stop killing each other.
We're asking you to put us out of business.
Put us out of business.
Do it.
There's plenty of old murders to cover.
Dare you.
If you stop killing each other now, we're going to be fine. We'll have murders for another 20 years to do this show. Don't even fucking worry about it. I'll be an old man doing the show going, you're still killing each other, you bastards. If you did enjoy that show, I do know how you can tell us about it. It's very easy. Just go to Apple Podcasts, that purple icon, and give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. You got to say something, but we don't care what it is because you can't fix us with words. You can't. It's not for our ego. Just tell us you're following instructions or these guys made me. Doesn't matter, but it does help a lot. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small town murder and your crime and sports needs. If you're not listening to crime and sports, I'm telling you, you're missing out. It's objectively fucking hilarious. It's a funny show. You're going to enjoy it. You don't have to like sports. Give it a shot. If you like this show and you trust us every week to give you a good show, why wouldn't you trust us to do that? Listen to that. Even listen to this week's episode because it's a good place to start. It's absolutely nuts.
It's wild.
It's crazy. You don't have to be interested in sports at all. You have to be interested in
I was
crazy
enthralled
people.
in that sport at that time, and I didn't even know that this happened.
That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy. Also, all new merchandise up there. All sorts of stuff. New Cheer Up Bitch logo that's really cool with a skeleton hand.
Yeah.
It's cool looking. Get all that. Plus, that's where your tickets are going to be available. Going to have a full slate of live shows next year. I think, what are we going, like 25 cities or some crazy shit?
It's too many.
It's a lot. We're going all over the place. You can't stop us. We'll be there. If we aren't coming to you, I'm sorry. We're trying, but
we're doing our best.
We're doing our best. You can't go everywhere, and we're not in charge of making schedules.
At this point, if we're not coming near you, you live in another country.
Yeah, probably. And we'll be somewhere in the ballpark.
And we're even going to be close to a few cities in Canada. We're trying our best to get to other places too. Like
we are.
Europe and Australia. We want to get there.
Australia and UK. You guys have been so fucking awesome and so supportive of both of our shows since the beginning, and we have not forgot about you. We want to come over there. We really do. It's hard to get it's not hard to get booked. Our agents can do all that shit, but with American acts over there, you have to have a certain amount because it's such a big outlay to go over there. It's so expensive. So in order to not lose our asses, we have to make sure that we have the right amount of listeners in each city. It can't just be in the whole country because Australia is a big place.
It's gigantic.
So we can't just say, oh, well, we'll do one.
The country is a continent.
Yeah, we'll do a show in Sydney. Well, what if you live on the other side of the fucking continent? You're not going to drive all the way over there, fly in. We're not going to ask people to fly over to the other side of the country for us and shit.
And
so it's hard. We're trying to figure it out.
People have left there and come here.
That's amazing.
And that blows our fucking mind.
So thank you guys
to come to our shows. Not just for
whatever. They do come here for whatever.
People come here all the time from Australia.
Yeah. So do that. Get on the website. Check us out there. Also, if you want to be, follow social media too. This is where you're going to get your ticket information first. We're going to post it on social media first, and they are going to be going on sale in the next week to 2 weeks. So you're going to definitely want to get on this. We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram to do that. And if you want to be one of our heroes, we cannot underestimate or just we couldn't say any less than it is. We can't overstate how important these people are. I said the opposite of what I meant because I'm tired, and this show took a lot out of me today.
Don't understate it, James.
You can't. No, Jesus, we can't overstate how important these people are. Our producers, they keep the show going, and they keep us to where we don't have to do constant ads for dick pills and weird financial services that rip people off and shit like that. We can pick and choose our ads and stuff like that and try to give you guys what you like.
Right.
And
try to find things that are useful to you.
Yeah. Basically, we work for you, not some company, not some network or some ad people. That's the way we look at it. So thank you for keeping it like that.
So thank you for hiring us.
Yes, thank you. And if you would like to keep doing that or you'd like to start doing that, you can do that very easily by donating over at patreon.com/crime in sports or head over to PayPal. Use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can do that right from our website, shutupandgivememurder.com. Every damn dime is appreciated. And you know what? Let's tell them how appreciated it is by hitting me with that list like a 2x4 to the forehead, big guy.
This week's executive producers are Holly Boutier, Jeremy Ebert, Tanya Volanek, Tyler Flores, and Courtney Flinger are getting married.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations, you crazy kids. And Jessica Christensen's 9-year-old daughter, daughter Joey.
Yeah, Joey.
She's having surgery.
Yeah, we saw her in the hospital there on social media. Poor Joey. Joey, feel better.
I hope you kick its ass, kiddo.
I know it's scary. You're going into surgery. It's tough. You're going to make it. You're just fine.
I can't believe you listen to this.
And thank you for listening to this. And you've learned some lessons. Don't
Be
smoke
good.
crack.
Listen to your folks.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Bennett also. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for us.
Quick thing before you go into the other thing. I just want to tell everybody for convenience, and this isn't like a, hey, you're annoying. It's a to streamline this process better. If you have like something in a shout out that's a special thing, hey, my daughter, can you shout out my friend? Don't message the page. Message Jimmy specifically. Jimmy does the shout out. So send everything shout out related to Jimmy, not because we mind getting it, but because then it has to then we have to like show, hey, Jimmy, and give it to him. And
well, Jessica, bless her heart, she sent it to fucking everybody.
That was fine. But I mean, like, otherwise
sure we saw it.
It can get lost in the shuffle, and we don't want to get lost in the shuffle. If someone's out and then the message gets lost, and we don't want to get lost in the shuffle.
Then a birthday gets missed, and then you're like, what the fuck?
So Jimmy,
I didn't mean to do it.
Exactly. So I'm sorry. Continue.
The rest of the producers this week are Michael Parkin, Matt Perry, Matt Beauregard, Francis Elric Dorn. I don't know what I did there.
Darn.
It's
the major league.
So many. Dow. Oh, it's Dow. D-O-W.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Crystal. I'm terrible at this. Crystal Wesseman. Kristen Leone. Brendan Russell. Okay, here we go. Carrie Brantley, Jeff Jewett, Ryan Blake, Beverly and Jeffrey Gladden, Beth Green, Jessica McCoy, Trish Washington, Tim Brooks, Eric Gordon, Kyle Carson, Jocelyn Cruz, Alyssa Sylvester, Richard Lovell, Morgan Morrison, Maglius Quintero, Javette Clark, I think, Javette. I think it was Javette. Sonia Borgen, Katie Lila, Marin Paulson, Matt Gibson, Brandy Dunkel, Kylie Gallagher, Kelly Ron Quist, Sydney Johnson, Brandy Smith, Angie with no last name, Byron Perry, Gabrielle Rebus, Amanda Sineska, she donated twice, both ways. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jessica Skinner, Catherine Valek, Ryan Smith, Shalima Althaus, Shalima, I think it's Shalima. No, it's two M's. Who knows?
We don't know.
I sure don't. Linda Bright, Danielle Doan, Erica Anderson, Cynthia Takajasi, Shelley Goodman, Alana Quick, Christine Duncanson, Polly Egan, Allison Newbold, Dylan Parsons, Dana Campbell, Christina Fatuaus. I don't know what I wrote there. I think that's an N. I think that's an F. Ashley Lee, Christy with no last name, Susie Platt, donate both ways. She donates like three times a week.
Thank you so much.
She's
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. James and Jack LaRussa. LaRussa, yes. Abby Anderson, Lonnie Hall, Evie Rose, Caitlin James, Linda Rubber, Russo. I don't know. It's not rubber. I know
You're
that.
having problems.
Micah Brown, Kelly Jen Cohen. That's what that is. Mike Swinty, Spencer Cordero, PG, Bodica. Read.
That's all of them.
Andrew Moore, Erna Booter de Villers Shoot.
Anagana DeVita, what?
Amanda Jones, Jackie Jordheim, bad as a mother. Jennifer M, Duarte Lanfer Slack. No. Melinda Klug, Naomi Belt, Dwayne Tucker, Larissa Pavlov, that's what that is, and Theo Vaughn's mullet. That's fascinating. I enjoy that too much, probably. Greg Totten, Stephanie Igoa, Ashley Vio, and Liz Vasquez sent us some holiday cards. Thank you. Liz Vasquez sent a Thanksgiving card.
Thank you.
Which I've never seen
I've
before.
never heard of that before.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, and
Thanks,
Ashley
Liz.
sent a Christmas card in fucking November.
Thank you.
She
You are on
gotta
top of
jump
your
on it.
business.
Well
that makes
done,
me feel
Ashley.
like a slacker.
Jude Kendall, Mike Moore, Lauren Ralph, Frankie Boland, Terrence Jones, Kevin Gately, Stein Lind, Samantha Wood, Soraya Williams, Ashley Vio, of course, Kat Helms, Neil Annis, Greg Gottlieb, David Fortner, Brendan Abels, the kid.
Thanks, Brendan.
He's such a young kid, and
he's a good dude, man.
Takes care of us every week. Thank you, Brendan. Corey Kuhn, Ryan Benner, Justin Inwood, Julia Haley, Robert Phelan, Thomas Smith, Mitchell Bumgardner, Anthony Canella in Texas. Thank you, Anthony. John Lash, Jesse Hartman, Sony Johansson, Liz Vasquez, Jessica Christensen, Peyton Meadows, Reagan Shockley, Gary Howard, 1987 sent a donation.
Hey,
thank you.
Thanks,
Rick Palmer, Bryce Law, Maria Goel, Levyland Creations, I think that's right. Tony Francisco, not with an N, and Lauren Demarath, and all of our Patreon donators. You guys, you make fucking smiles happen every week, and rent gets paid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for every damn thing you do for us. Shit, we're fucking really grateful.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Thank you guys so much. What if they wanted to thank you or say something terrible to you? Either way, how could they do it?
Whichever you want to do them at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Where are you?
Oh, boy. I am at Jimmy P is funny, or you can just copy and paste my name from the show description and make it a little more easy on yourself to not have to try to spell Pietragallo. So do that. Sounds like fun. And come back and see us again and again. Happy Thanksgiving. We understand it's Thanksgiving today when this episode is coming out.
Enjoy your turkey or whatever.
Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're probably listening to this while you're preparing it.
Yeah.
Sorry that we have to leave you now and you have to go be with your family. But you have to, and we all have to do it. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.